Welcome in, everybody. It's the On Texas Football Watch Along Live, and here we go. The rivalry renewed, and boy, the subplots, the drama is thick for Texas and Texas A&M for the first time in 13 years. I'm Aaron Hogan. Jerry Hamilton joins us here to start and throughout the ball game. We'll have special guests, obviously Rod Babers and Bob Shipley, and I think Bobby will join us at some point. But Jerry, what a game! You can see I've been shoved into the bedroom because it's a big watch party. I got kicked out of my man cave for the watch along tonight. So that's how big this game is, all over Texas, all over our house, and I'm sure your house too. Been waiting for this for more than a decade now.
No, it's massive. I mean, look, you couldn't. The only way you could have drawn it up better, and Texas fans wouldn't agree with me, but for the rivalry is if A&M had won last week, right? Where literally everything was on the line. But because Auburn beat A&M last week, A&M now has to win out. They have to beat Texas and Georgia back-to-back weeks to make a college football playoff. But no, it's amazing. The game's back. It's needed to be back. It's needed to be back for the fans of these two universities, football fans in Texas, all the recruits in this state. This game needs to be played, and it's great that it's back to stay now. And look, there's still a lot on the line for Texas A&M. Aaron, I don't know what you've talked about all week, how you feel about it, but I think unless Texas goes out and lays an egg and gets beat 40-0, which won't happen, if they lose the game and it's a really good game, I still think Texas is in the playoffs if they lose. But there's a lot on the line because the winner goes to the SEC title game. But I think Texas now, Aaron, gets on a bus for this game, and they're loose, free, fast, and physical. You want to win the game, and those that don't feel the rivalry, they certainly are now that they're out warming up. The Isaiah Bonds of the world and all these kids that have never been part of this game, they're going to feel it now that they're on the field, even if they didn't really know about the history. It's going to come out quickly. But I think Texas is in, win or lose in the playoffs, just the way things have shaken out the last couple of weeks. Again, Miami loses today, which I think means only one ACC team gets in, point blank on that. So things are working out for Texas. They're falling for Texas. Should they stub their toe tonight? I think Texas is the better team. Question is, are they going to be the better team tonight?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think, the stakes are much higher for A&M as far as the circumstances of a loss, right? I mean, A&M probably tumbles into the Music City Bowl or something along those lines. If they lose this game, Texas can be still in the playoff and still an opportunity to achieve all their goals. And that does give you a chance to be loose. I think Miami's loss, as you said today, is huge. I mean, that's a terrible loss for the ACC. But, the other part of that is, that one of the things we've talked about all week long, Jerry, is, the rivalries we watched today. We had a brawl in the Ohio State-Michigan game. Last night's Georgia Tech game was so intense. These guys haven't played each other. To me, those rivalries that are that intense come from the scars of the previous year, and those Ohio State captains they've never beaten Michigan. Now those seniors, that's a scar that they'll wear the rest of their lives. For the fans, the rivalry renews tonight. For the players and the coaches, for sure, but certainly the players going mano a mano against these guys. Sure, they went against them in high school and all-star games and that kind of stuff, but somebody's going to leave this field tonight hurt, feeling it, stinging. That's when the rivalry will rekindle next year. Right now, these guys just know how big this game is. They know how important this game is, and obviously they'll play for the pride of the great state of Texas. But there's not that guy got me last year, so I got to get him this year. That kind of thing. It doesn't exist in this game.
No, that's a great point, Aaron. And I think the fans, it's bigger for the fans, this first one, than the players in a weird way, just because the players have never experienced it. Trey Zunn, Quinn Ewers grew up Texas. I mean, Michael Taft, the people that grew up it, but they still haven't. The last time they could have been to that game was when they're 9 or 8 or 7. So it doesn't really truly exist in their world as a young adult. It exists in the fans, the majority of the fans. Now, even the CJ Vogel age fans, though, CJ was 13 last time this game was played, 14. So it really doesn't exist for him. It's going to be fascinating to see what he says tonight after being there covering it for those of us that have been to that game. It's pretty wild. But I think it's bigger for the fans this first go around. But I think after this first taste of it for the players, because somebody, like you said, somebody's going to come out a winner and somebody's going to come out a loser. And for 364 days, you're going to hear about it from your friends, your family, and everybody around you in your at school, your college, your state. I think next year's game is going to be off the charts in Austin for the players.
Yeah. Well, and let's dive into the Quinn Ewers situation, right? What do we think? I mean, it's a high ankle sprain. It was a hip drop kind of tackle from last week against Kentucky. He navigated the late third into the fourth quarter, but it wasn't pretty. I mean, he could barely move out there. Now he's going to be fresher than he was there, but I'm sure he'll get some modern medicine, to start this game, Jerry. They'll tape it up. But, A&M's going to come after him. And, how much Quinn Ewers can we expect tonight? Much like, I feel like last week, Sark, because he was up 24-7 and was senior night, stuck with Quinn and kind of challenged his team to play for Quinn here. But tonight, no holds barred. You cannot leave a quarterback out there that can't move in the pocket and is a sitting duck back there against a very good pass rush.
No, this isn't Kentucky. This is 5 NFL draft picks on the defensive line, an extremely aggressive defensive coordinator and head coach with their blitz packages, because they have to be to protect the secondary that they're going to have to build through recruiting over time. Quinn wants to play. He wants to give it a go. The reports that I've gotten from the field, unless he's going to win an Oscar, that he didn't look great. He wasn't moving great, right? Unless this was all an act, and I don't believe it was. I think Quinn's very limited in this game, and I think it's going to be tough for him to perform limited in this game against this defensive front and the type of pressure that A&M is going to bring. We talk about all the time how Sark has been prepping for months for the Alabama game 2 years ago, right? When they went into Bryant-Denny at Michigan this year. I truly believe that since Mike Elko was hired, they've been prepping for this game. And this is going to be absolutely the best shot they have, is what Texas is going to get. So if your quarterback's immobile, that's not going to work tonight.
All right. Well, we'll see how much Quinn. I mean, the one thing we've heard, CJ Vogel, I know, reported it throughout the pregame and during the week. They'll give it a go. But how long does that last? And how quick do they go to Arch Manning? Now, for the crowd that is out there that says Texas hadn't played a road SEC night game, that's true. But a good chunk of this roster did play at Tuscaloosa last year, and part of that was Quinn Ewers, right? They played in that environment, toughest environment arguably in the SEC, with Nick Saban as the head coach. So they've been in this. It's not foreign. It's foreign this year. And as Sark said on College Game Day this morning, Jerry, the embrace the hate thing, they've lived that the last year or so in the Big 12. So you can lean on that. If you're Sark, lean into it. You understand how this is going to go. You're the enemy tonight. Let's unite as a band of brothers and 100 guys and go get this thing. And guess what? We've got a wounded quarterback. So let's help him and see how long he can go. If not, Arch is ready to come out of the bullpen and save the day, kind of thing. I mean, it's so many subplots. Aaron,
I mean, could you imagine being Arch Manning if you have to play the majority of this game? Your first road game is this game. I mean,
that's awesome.
I mean, you wanted to go to Texas, baby. Here it is. I mean, this is like this is another level. I have no doubt that the Texas fans will walk away from the Texas fans and players will walk away from here tonight saying it's the loudest stadium they've ever been at. There's just these two teams haven't played in 13 years. This is a lot of vitriol and weight, and it's especially more meaningful because Texas is ranked 3. They were in the college football playoff last year. A&M would like nothing more than, besides winning the game, representing the SEC in the SEC championship and keeping Texas from doing that in year 1 in the SEC. This is an everything game for A&M. It's an everything game for A&M. So I can't imagine being Arch Manning, having never played a lot in a road game, maybe ever, and this would be his first action. This would be quite the pressure cooker for a young quarterback.
Sure would. I mean, you see the crowd right now. If you're watching on TV, 104,000 people doing the sway, and if I've been in that press box when that's happening, the stadium actually moves. They have a sign on your seat that says, "Don't worry if the press box is shaking. That's normal with the people under you swaying back and forth." But you're right. I mean, if it is Arch, he's gotten extra reps this week. He'll stay cool, but at the same time, he's going to see something he's not seen before. And there's a lot here. I mean, because I've had a lot of people ask me this week, Jerry, well, what if they win? Who starts the next game? Sark's not worried about the next game, right? We'll worry about the next game. You got to get through this game right now. And, I understand for fans, that becomes a big picture thing. Well, then who starts the championship if they win tonight? And Quinn and Arch plays a lot. I don't believe, knowing Sark the way we do, I don't think that's in his mind. It's how do we win this game? And then we'll focus on the next game, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, this is This is for a team that believes they're in the playoffs. This is a seeding game tonight. This is what's for me. This is what's on the line for Texas. I believe Texas is in the playoffs, unless they just lay an egg tonight, which I don't think will happen. Texas is in the playoffs. A win tonight, and you host a first-round playoff game. If you lose tonight, you may get sent to a snowdrift game up against Notre Dame or Penn State or something in the first round. That's what's on the line tonight for Texas. I think they're in the playoffs. You want to win the game, obviously. But I'm saying for the playoff hunt, if you win tonight, even if you lose in the SEC championship game to Georgia, you host a first-round game, probably as a 5 or 6 seed. So there's a lot on the line for Texas tonight, because the last place you want to be if you lose this game tonight is making a trip to play at Penn State or play at Oregon in the cold, wet weather, or up at Notre Dame. So there's something on the line tonight for Texas from a seeding standpoint. Obviously, Texas is kicking. They deferred. They won and deferred. But there's a lot on the line for Texas tonight too, as far as I believe playoff seeding goes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. They want to win this rivalry game. I mean, that's 100%. First quarter, Longhorns will kick off. It's going to be brought to you by Grande Equipment, our friends, the local independent equipment and sales and rentals dealer. My buddy Wes Murray and his team, they'll bring us the first quarter. We'll tell you about them throughout the first 15 minutes of action. We've waited 13 years for this, guys. Here we go. Texas will kick off. The Longhorns won the toss, and they will defer.
Aaron, a trainer friend of mine said they have him in an air splint.
Who's that?
Quinn's in an air splint per a trainer friend of mine. That's a long-time trainer.
Oh, wow. Like while he's playing?
Yep.
Well, that's not good.
That's not what you want for mobility.
No.
You're trying to play.
You're trying to give it a go, and as long as the magic pain medicine wears, we're good. So that'll be his mindset, I think, here. So, all right. So Marcel Reed, got to Nashville, Tennessee. I heard he played high school ball with Kirk Herbstreit's kids in Nashville. Yeah. So Kirk's seen him quite a bit, and got to keep him in the pocket, Jerry. Make him beat you from the pocket. Don't let his legs get involved in this game.
The key is to get him the second read. Then if he wants to run the football, you've had a chance to process everything defensively. If he runs it off the first read, I think he's a little more dangerous in this game. You want him to be indecisive going from read 1 to read 2, then he tucks the football. If it's just read 1, come off of read 1 and take off, then you better have really good lane discipline tonight. Better have gap integrity.
Good play on first down. Longhorns, give up just 1.5 yards that time. Michael Taft came up from the safety spot. Good push from the interior. Longhorns have them where they want them, 2nd and long.
Texas brings 4 with the pressure. Reed has time to throw it way down the field, and the big-time throw and catch right there, already in the Texas territory. That's a really good throw from the pocket for a young quarterback. Only brought 4.
Yeah, only brought the 4 and tested Jahdae Barron on the first play. Got outside leverage. Actually, they got him in his zone right there. And Jahdae had to come off to make the tackle. There's good pressure by Texas. False start A&M, I think. Marcel Reed's a talented guy, man. You just saw that the arm strength there is really good. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. So this is, if it is Arch Manning at some point in this game, these guys might see each other quite a bit here over the next 2-3 years.
They might. Be interested to see if A&M goes to the portal for a quarterback after this year, but we have plenty of time to talk about that. The one thing with Marcel Reed on that throw, he drops the ball below the water a little bit too, though. So if they've really studied tape on him, he has a bit of a wind-up, and that's that ball, what he sees with its eyes, he's going to be a split second late getting the ball to that, delivering that football, because anytime he drops the ball caught below the water around your belt buckle area, that gives you a full split second longer to release a football with what you see your eyes. So we'll see if how the analytics have played out for Texas, how what their studies showed on that. But I noticed that on that first throw down the field. And there's their first QB draw.
Good tackle right there. Make it 3rd and short. Maybe 2 down territory for the Aggies. Any surprise that Clark won the toss and kicked? Didn't take the ball?
it's definitely off script from what he's done this year, but I think that also tells you that he's got to trust his defense and not Quinn's ankle in this game. But it's a big third down coming for A&M now. They got probably an NFL level kicker. Reed is really slippery in the open field. He's kind of got that dead leg, give you the outside and get you back inside, kind of like a poor man's Peter Warrick. He's got that, and I'm not comparing him to Peter Warrick, but the guy that had the dead leg and get you back inside and get your shoulders going outside. This is a huge play, a huge third down. We'll see what the call is here. It looks like
Texas might have just gave it to him right there, Jerry, with a jump off sides here. Hard count. Assume that's going to be on Barron Sorrells there. Yep. Well, that's a free first down on the first big third down.
So not a great start defensively. Give up the intermediate throw along the sidelines. They played well against the run itself. Marcel Reed on QB draw got a few. Then you jump off sides. Jermaine Lole starting, by the way, next to Alfred Collins, but not a good penalty from a senior there on 3rd and 4. Now A&M's in
one thing you can't do right there.
If Marcel Reed hangs in the pocket like this and delivers the ball well all night, then that's going to force Texas to bring more numbers, because that's not going to work. If he's going to be accurate from the pocket tonight, that's not good news for Texas.
No, that's where you want him. I mean, make him beat you from the pocket, not with his legs, and not off script. So far, he's made 2 really good throws, and the Longhorns gave him a first down on 3rd down.
So they're a tough run inside. And one of the things that I think Mike Elko's done to really improve this A&M program, and one, he had to change the culture, right? And he made it more accountable. I know a parent of a player there, and he said the accountability started on day one, but then the physicality up front in the run game was a big thing for Texas A&M, because they're not great in pass pro, or haven't been all season, but they've brought a physicality in the downhill run game. And I think that's really helped him get his year one started, because I thought it was a big change from Jimbo.
Which is good to see these 2 uniforms on the field again, Jerry. I mean, however, we all grew up with it, and it's been a while. We've seen him playing baseball, we've seen him playing basketball, volleyball, but pretty cool to see him back on a football field. No,
it really is. It really is. We'll see if I'm anxious to see how much more aggressive PK has to get in this game based on the start from Texas A&M. If Marcel Reed is going to be accurate in the pocket tonight, that's going to have to change PK's thinking. So we'll see as the game moves along. But he's made 2 really good throws in the pocket. Huge 3rd and 2 coming up. You want to force a field goal if you're Texas, no doubt. You don't want to get down 7-0, else this crowd is going to be in your butt from here on out. Timeout by A&M there, Aaron.
Probably a good one, just to make sure this is a big 3rd and 2. But that's a timeout used. They've got 64 yards, 43 through the air, 2 big pass plays, and 21-yard rushing so far. Longhorns gave Barron Sorrells jumped off sides on a 3rd and 4. That was going to be, you get a stop there, it's going to be decision time. But so far, Reed's looked very confident. These are the scripted plays, of course, from Colin Klein. What have you seen from Colin Klein so far as the offensive coordinator? When Mike Elko made that hire, it kind of told you this was, whenever a defensive coach makes a defensive coordinator hire coming in, it's much like Sark hiring PK. It's the biggest hire you're going to make, right? And what does that tell you about what Mike Elko wants to be big picture with his program, and what are they right now?
Yeah, I think physicality up front in the run game obviously is number one. And to be a physical football team in the SEC and be able to win the line of scrimmage. And then I think too, from that is to have a quarterback that's an athletic mover, that can play off script, and that you can that you can you have a quarterback that can make plays when plays break down. I like that way of thinking in today's current college football. I mean, look, nobody's going to have this guy, but look at Lenora Sellers at South Carolina. Man. I mean, look, I've seen a young quarterback at Texas do some of those similar things, and I'm not comparing him, but this guy has a little bit of that to him, and you're not going to find somebody like that all the time. But if you can find enough of that you became a really tough team to defend if you have a physical downhill run game. So I think it's pretty obvious what the plan was for Mike Elko hiring Colin Klein, and they've executed it pretty well because they've gone through a quarterback change in situation and bring in a redshirt freshman in a new scheme and a new system. But really, it's all started with their downhill run game, and then they've had to absorb the loss of Le'Veon Moss late in the year, which obviously that hurts them in the Auburn game, and it may hurt them tonight. And moving on the rest of the season, where they have 1 or 2 games left. But they brought the physicality to the run game, and that was number one.
Yeah, well, clearly physical, play defense, and then have a quarterback that makes you play 11-on-11 football. Yeah, Lenore Sellers today, I mean, all year long, but certainly today, I mean, he single-handedly beat Clemson. He's
a freak. I mean, Aaron, he has got a lot. He has got some of what Vince had, in that you just can't get him down. And then when he gets in the open field, he has running back vision. So it's like he can set up blocks. He sees it all happening a split second before it does. Before a receiver contacts a defensive back, he can just set it up and see it and feel it. But he's so hard to get. It's eerily similar in some ways. Obviously, different body types and a little different skill set. Vince was maybe a little faster, more slippery, where Sellers is more physical. But I'm here to tell you, their feet are the same. And the way they see it happen and the plays develop is the same.
Yeah, and fearless. I mean, completely fearless. I mean, just the way he sets up, his runners and defenders and blocks, and then just will go like a running back in the open field. Big third down, Texas bows up. It's going to be a decision time for Mike Elko. He did not get that. He's a full yard back.
You better take the points.
Yeah,
look, these guys are all riverboat gamblers. I would take the points here. But he may be thinking he needs touchdowns, and he may be thinking – but here in a game like this, they're going to go for it, or they're going to try to draw Texas off. But I would take points.
I would take points too. But here we go. They have a game plan. Riverboat gamblers, you call them. We'll see. Longhorns, so far the run defense has been outstanding, and they got it. That's not going to be good. Let's see where that's a stop.
That's a stop. You have to take these guys are all riverboat gamblers. They need to throw their damn books and all this analytics bull crap away. Why are you not kicking the field goal? You just got the ball. You drove down the field against Texas, and maybe they're thinking, oh, well, now Texas has the ball at the 9. You take the 3 points. You had a tight end game. This is unbelievable, man. These coaches are unbelievable. Like Kirby Smart not kicking an extra point last night at 17-6. These guys are unbelievable nowadays. It's wild to watch.
It is, yeah. And that's Barron Sorrell.
2 stops in a row, by the way.
That's great defense. And Barron Sorrell's being blocked by a tight end. That's probably not a good idea. Barron makes up for the offsides. And now here's our first chance to look at Quinn Ewers. Longhorns defense does what they do all year, get off the field. Plenty of time for Quinn. They're going deep on play 1, and it's not there.
Looking for Isaiah Bond there. This is Sark's going to be aggressive now. I mean, because the reality is teams have beaten A&M down the field. Every game I've watched A&M this year, Missouri, they just couldn't pass pro. Brady Cook didn't have time. They got hosed on a call early. You can beat A&M deep if your pass protection is there. If the plays develop with Sark's scheme, if Quinn's healthy enough to step in the throws, you can beat A&M deep. Everybody else has.
Yeah, you got to. And on that play with the deep ball that wasn't there, I guess he miscommunicated with Isaiah Bond. There was no one there, but it's going to bring up a big third down here. But there was plenty of time. Good protection on that first pass play. That ball behind Gunnar Helm, and that was quick. That was quick, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see that look behind Gunnar Helm. Wow. All right. Well, not a great start for Texas. And now here we go. They get the defensive stop.
I just got a text from a former college quarterback who said, Ewers looks like he can barely walk.
Yeah, I know. So I guess they're going to. You say he's in an air cast?
Yeah.
Air splint kind of thing?
Yeah, an air splint, and those are definitely going to limit your mobility even more so.
Well, and mobility and, got to plant and be able to fire, right? I
Yes.
mean, this is right foot, so that's your drive foot. This says, don't make me throw my TV in the yard. Please don't do that because you won't be able to watch the rest of the game. You can watch along with us, and we will take you there. I promise you. But that's not an ideal idea. But let me tell you about our friends at Grande Equipment here. Midway through the first quarter, Longhorns get a defensive stop, go 3 and out on their first drive, and that's going to lead to the question of how long does Sark stick with Quinn Ewers, and we'll have that coming back. But if you can't find what you need as far as equipment, or you have a big project coming up, whether it's you're in construction, you're in the field, you're building a building, you're building a road, you're building many roads, or you have a project out at the lease or out at the ranch, the property you have, and you need a big piece of equipment. Grande Equipment, locally owned and operated. They've been serving the world's equipment needs since 2004, so 20 years now. Their attention to detail, total commitment to the customer, which is you. They specialize in selling used equipment of all brands to wholesalers, dealers, and you. They also can rent equipment as well. Their inventory is through the roof. Go to grandeequipment.com. But their rental fleet of major brand equipment, if you have a project for your whatever it might be, large or small, and you want to buy the equipment and you keep it because you're not going to use it again, they have a great rental fleet of stuff, whether it's rollers, compactors, dozers, wheel loaders, excavators, everything you would ever need. They also pride themselves in the service to you, the customer. And if you have equipment, maybe you want to sell, you want to offload some equipment that you're not using any longer. They're a great alternative at Grande to auctions. They accommodate 30 and 60 and 90-day consignments, which maximize your return on depending on the time frame there. But they've been doing this a long time. Wes Murray and his team, it's a family-owned and run company. They take pride in being an independent, small company, but they play in the big leagues in a big way all over the state of Texas, all over the world at Grande Equipment. They're based out of New Braunfels, San Marcos area now. They were in Dripping Springs, got too big for that area. Then they went to Buda. Now they're down in San Marcos, New Braunfels. They're just the best. GrandeEquipment.com. That's GrandeEquipment.com. They're bringing you this first quarter watch-along conversation. Jerry Hamilton, Aaron Hogan, and our buddy Matt back there as we get this going. All right, so far it's nothing. Texas defense bows up, and Quinn did not look great in that first series. What's the leash here? What do you mean? Do you wait for something bad to happen, or do you, if you're getting texts from people watching from the stands that say you can't really walk, Sark sees that too.
Yeah, I think it's the whole thing's going to be the first time he gets hit. And where is he at after that? If somebody falls on him, that's what it's always to me about with these guys that have lower extremity injuries that try to play through them. I will say one positive with pass pro was pretty good on that.
Yeah, it was.
Drive. Quinn had time, and if Quinn has time, he's got to hit guys. I mean, because you're not going to have time the whole game against A&M. They're going to bring pressure, but he had time on that third down throw, and he's gonna have to put it on people. Now, I'm not saying whether Helm ran the correct route or not. I'm not getting into that. But if Quinn has time, he has to be extremely accurate with the football because he won't have time all game.
Well, and we'll watch again, but only a 37-yard punt, Jerry. That's been a bugaboo for Texas. Would have liked to have seen a boomer there, but I don't know if Texas has somebody that can boom one. So midfield is the starting field position for the Aggies.
I think A&M's setting up some zone read stuff. They're running it downhill. And they're gonna try to get Texas crashing down on this run. And I'm watching for them to start bringing some zone read action coming up. I don't know if it's this drive or not, but they're clearly setting it up.
This would be about the great field position here for them. This would be about the time you would try to do something like that if you have something that you've been working on.
Good pressure there, but Reed can dance now in the pocket, but now he's on the run. A really good play. I mean, Marcel Reed's playing at a high level right now. High level quarterback play early in this game.
Well, and that's what you want to do. You want to contain him in the pocket and make him throw, but then once he gets off schedule, that's when the coverage kind of breaks down for, any secondary, including the best secondary in college football. I mean, the stat that sticks out to me about these two teams, Jerry, is no one allows fewer explosive plays in the country than Texas's defense. And the Aggies are not great at creating explosive plays offensively. I mean, I think they're 70th. I think they're 70th nationally in explosive plays. So there's the interception for Texas, Michael Taft. That's number 18 on the year in the SEC leaders.
There it is. I mean, look, so that's 4 games in a row. Marcel Reed's thrown an interception now. He had been playing at a high level. That was not high-level quarterback play. Late, deep, is the worst thing a young quarterback can do, or any quarterback. Young, late, deep off your back foot on the run is absolutely the worst thing you can do in football. So he had played well to that point. He wants that one back. That was a horrible throw and decision by Marcel Reed. Late, deep, bad news for quarterbacks against good teams.
Yeah, especially this one. I mean, that's what I was just saying. I mean, Texas, they allow the fewest explosive plays, 20 yards or more in the country. He tried to force one down the field, which would have been an explosive play, and it's just not going to be there against this team. Now, Texas backed up. That's as good as a punt, essentially, but Aggies wanted more out of that. Here comes that outside run. Did he get his face mask or nope? That's going to be a good tackle. Well, there's a flag down. There is a flag. Did we see a face mask here?
See if could be.
This would be huge for Texas because that's a negative play and get some 15 yards out of their own end. That would be a massive play for Texas here. Give them some breathing room here. Face mask it is. Those are ones that's a big play right there, Jerry, to get you from the 7-yard line out to the 25 and avoid second and 13.
Huge penalty. That takes some play calling pressure off of Sark right here as well.
Yeah, and that's one as a defensive coach, you're a coach you hate for the Aggies because you're making a good defensive play. Just grabbed his face mask. I'm still a fan of that being a 5 or a 15-yard penalty, but
I agree. A&M brought numbers on the blitz there. They brought the extra number there in an A-gap blitz. So that's what I expect to see a lot of as A&M settles in against Quinn.
Well, and just like we saw with Georgia, these little flat plays are not going to work much against them, I don't think. I mean, they're going to be all over those, knowing Quinn can't move much.
And A&M last week showed a single high, cover 2, and a cover 3 look against Auburn that I remember seeing. Looks like they're more in a 2 on this possession. Quinn's going to have to dance and try to get the ball out of his hands. Actually did a good job there. Let's see how Quinn gets up after being tackled. It's the first time he's been hit. So now that he's been tackled, what does he look like moving after this? Not bad getting up off the turf on that first hit.
Yeah, Texas has 3 total yards so far. This is their second drive. They've gone backwards more than they've gone forward so far. That 15-yard penalty is their best play so far.
And again, that first series, Texas pass pro'd well. A&M's bringing numbers now. There's simulated pressures. Quinn's going to have to get it out of his hands. Kept the play alive. If he's going to run, he's actually going to get 10, 15, 20. I mean, unbelievable. He's going to go. He stepped out. Wow.
I don't know that he stepped out. That's going to be a weird look because they called it dead, but I was kind of watching the toe taps and must have been a toenail because it was not a lot.
They called him out. That's a good job escaping pressure, though. Look, I'm proud of Quinn right now because I wasn't sure he could do that before this game. So they're saying he stepped out on the 48 coming up right.
Oh yeah, there it was.
Yeah, because he
inside foot came across.
But hey, look, now, this is great though. Sark he's got good field position to work with now from the 48, from his own 48. Let's see.
Wow, that's unfortunate because there's Kelvin Banks down on the ground. Let's hope that's not anything serious. Of course, Kelvin Banks announced as an Outland Trophy finalist today, or this week, I should say. And Sark's coming out too.
This is a big spot for Trevor Gooseby to have to come into this game. This does not. We'll wait to see, but this does not look great for KB.
That's a shame that Quinn stepped out of bounds too, because he would have kept running.
Let's see what happened. Did he get leg whipped here? Oh, somebody fell into the back of his leg.
That's an ankle.
Yeah.
That's an ankle.
Yeah. Just that clean play. A&M player trying to make a sack.
Well, at least it's not. It's an ankle foot thing. Let's see.
Let's see how he is coming off the field here.
All right. So, yeah, that looks optimistic.
He'll be back in. It's just win. He'll be back in. He's a tough kid.
He's got kicked in the leg, kicked in the shin like we've all been there. That hurts like a sun gun.
Yep.
Maybe the ankle. Let's hope the best. But it didn't look like anything structural.
Actually, was biting mine right now. Painful. I may need a playoff.
He needs some of what Quinn's got, some of that magic Toradol.
So now, does A&M bring the extra number on the left side against Trevor Gooseby? Something to watch now. They call a blitz off the left side and test Trevor Gooseby. Biggest plays Trevor Gooseby's had in his young career at Texas coming up.
All right, good defensive play. They got Texas red here, but that was a 26-yard scramble by Quinn Ewers. Could have been more, but that's big. That's another negative play. These plays that are going, these little short plays are going nowhere. They're actually losing Texas yards right now. That's about the third or fourth negative play for Texas already.
Yeah, A&M is waiting on the quick passing game in the screen game. Anything quick, I think it's got to be more horizontal outside the hashes against A&M.
There you go. There's a gash run by Trey Wisner. There you go. That's what you need to do. Yeah, the Longhorns right now are negative 1.3 yards per pass completion, but they're running the ball now. That's 51 rush yards, 26 from Quinn Ewers, and that one from Trey Wisner went for 22.
Good old counter. Hayden Connor with a great block, just a guard counter. Hayden Connor had the block that sprung this one. Great block. Now a little downhill action. This is really a good sign for Texas early. Now to have two back-to-back runs like that to move the chains and two different types of runs. Obviously, you had the counter to the right side, and then this one was more the zone quick hitter.
Yeah, this line of scrimmage is there. This offensive line is winning the line right now. Now it's an empty backfield. Oh, he got his knee down.
Yeah. I like that was the deal. I like that perimeter throw, though. Yeah, knee was down. Quinn's normally really accurate on those. That's one of the things to watch with the ankle a little bit. Is he going to be as accurate? He is a very, very accurate thrower in the short and horizontal passing game. People say as any quarterback should be, but there's a timing and rhythm to it too. They're going to review this. Obviously, they're going to move that line of scrimmage. They're going to move that from a 2nd and 9 to a 2nd and 11.5 or 12. The knee was clearly down on the 25.5.
Yeah, that's just that's another rule I'd like to see go away, Jerry. The knee down thing in college football.
Yeah. So hey, this will be interesting to see what Sark comes back with here. Does he come back with a run to try to get it to a 3rd and manageable? Is my question. I mean, that's going to be that's what's going to be interesting to me.
I mean,
back with on the 2nd 11.5.
Well, and maybe that run for Quinn, gives Sark a little confidence, but. If they're jumping these flat routes, there's got to be seam routes and things down the field that are going to be there, right? If you fake one and, because they're over pursuing, I'd almost play them against themselves on that and show something short and go beyond it, a little double move kind of thing. And the O-line's protecting right now. And Quinn looked fine. Not fine, but as fine as he's going to be.
Look, and I know everybody's like, run the ball. But one thing I will say is the perimeter passing game helps set up the run game because Sark wants to get these guys thinking horizontally and perimeter wise. He wants to get some false steps. He wants guys guessing pre-snap what's coming with all his motion, with all his pre-snaps. So it's not going to be like Kentucky against A&M where you just line up and run the ball 15 times. That's not going to happen. Sark has to keep these guys honest in this game because they're too talented up front. You got to get them thinking perimeter, horizontal, and then hit them with the runs.
Agreed. Yeah, they're being over aggressive into the flats, and that's the great thing. That's one of the reasons for the people asking about why Quinn's out there injured. He knows this offense. He knows every part of it. Sark can change things that they need to, right? You can adjust on the fly. That's something as talented as Arch Manning is going to be. He doesn't have all that yet, all the resources, and because they may have to, now that you're seeing how aggressive they are to the flats, they have plays that you can pivot to that attack that, right? I mean, and pump fake, take it over the top, get the seams. Because if they're compressing so hard on the outside, there's going to be open space in the middle in the passing game. You can attack that. So again, it's
and you want to make these guys run. You want to make them run.
Yeah, run side to side. It's a long game.
The Michigan game. You want to make these guys run horizontally. make them run to the perimeter, chase the football. If you just play it in the box, the guys don't get as tired. You're trying to wear these guys out for the middle of the third quarter and beyond.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've learned about Sark. We're in year 4 now with his play calling. It's a boxing match, Tim, and we know Sark's a big boxing fan. This is a long game, and you're softening them up with the blows. And as you're saying, fans would like to see it in the box, but you're making guys run full sprints, 20 yards to the outside, 30 yards to the outside. That's going to have its toll, but it also sets you up for something you want to go to. And this is let's be honest, this is a really good drive for Texas here off of their own end zone. Coming out of their own end zone, the 15-yard penalty was critical here in our first quarter, brought to you by GAMEDAY Equipment. Michael Taft makes the interception. You get off your own goal line. Quinn makes a 26-yard run. You gut him a couple times with the run game. Now the passing game is still under the -6 yards, but again, you trust Sark that there's going to be an adjustment off of that, and there's a method to the madness of what you're doing here. That's going to soften them up for other things. That's obviously one of their focuses, and it would be if you watch Texas on film. But there's ways to attack that over aggressiveness and make them pay for it.
We're getting close to Matthew Golden area of the field, by the way.
We are.
Keep in mind, we're getting close to the Matthew Golden go zone. So let's see what Sark dials up coming out of this review and timeout. Power. Big time. Now you get the 3rd and 2. Love it.
Yeah, and Trey Wisner's just running with so much confidence. They're going tempo now.
Trevor Gooseby still in the game. This is probably see if it's 2 down territory.
Ooh, wow. Quinn just threw that into harm's way right there. On 2nd and 3rd and 2, I don't like that play call much, but that means he's probably going for it here. Is he going Riverboat Gamble or are you going to take the points?
Man, you know me, I would take the points, but these guys do not think like that ball should have been picked.
Yeah. That was not a good throw by Quinn. That was 4 guys around his primary target. And Quinn off the field, that means field goal.
Or that means Arch.
There he is, Arch Manning in the game. I like this. Arch package. Pony package with Arch. There he goes. Look at there. The first touchdown in 13 years is Arch Manning, if that stayed in bounds.
They called it out at the 1, but look, I would keep him in and just let him hand this ball off at this point. Great job, Steve Sarkisian. Great job, man. Look,
that might be a touchdown. That might be a touchdown.
They need to review that. I think it's going to be a touchdown. But look, being a play caller is a difficult job. It's the most scrutinized thing in football, other than being the quarterback. That's a smart game plan, smart play call, and I think Arch Manning scored a touchdown. They're not going to review this. I can't believe it. Okay.
Yeah, they
have to review this. This is going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, that is. That's unbelievable. I mean, great job by Quinn Ewers. Great job by the offensive line getting this ball down the field. But if the first touchdown back from 13 years off, Jerry, is Arch Manning, what a storyline.
Yeah. Who had that one in the bingo card 4 weeks ago? I mean, I think he was in, right, Aaron? I don't see how they're going to be able to mark this ball.
Well, and the ball hit the pylon.
Yeah, and he never stepped out. And the ball
was. They're going to question: did his wrist or did the ball actually hit the pylon, or was it his right hand
outside the pylon, out of bounds? This is what they're going to hit.
Oh man!
I mean,
it went over the top of it because that pylon goes forever, right? I mean, it went right over the top of it. You didn't have to hit it. You got to cross it.
You don't have to hit it. You just have to cross it. The question is, are they going to say the ball was outside the pylon, out of bounds? And I don't know. I don't have the angle for that. My inclination is they're going to mark it at the half-yard line, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's remind folks, the ends line, the goal line is the goal line, but the pylon goes up forever. So as long as you cross it, and as Jerry said, the question is, did the ball actually cross over the top of the pylon? If it did, it's a touchdown. And if it is, they're getting touchdown. Arch Manning.
Great job. Great play call, Sark. That was a good job, man.
How about Sark going to the Arch package, and the Longhorns are on the board? That's brought to you by GAMEDAY Equipment. Wes Murray and his team. Then our first quarter. What a drive. That is by my count, after the Michael Taft interception, the ill-advised throw by Marcel Reed. Longhorns go 92 yards. and stick it in the end zone, mostly all on the ground, because they have 86 rushing yards and -6 passing yards. So that is a tone setter.
Well, I mean, look, your QB run game got you 41 of those as well, by the way. So 2 carries, 41 yards, in your QB run game. Obviously, scrambled by Quinn, QB run by Arch Manning. Sark saw his super chat about running the ball. Yes, sure, Pape.
Well, I mean,
95-yard drive, Aaron. I mean, Texas, that's a heck of a drive with the penalty, the 15-yard face mask penalty. So great job by Arch Manning. Great athleticism to play through the first hit, keep his feet, keep his balance, stay in bounds, get extended, and just get that ball over the top of the pylon.
Well, let me just say, I don't know how this game's going to play out or this season, Jerry, but Sark has played this. He has said over and over, we're going to need Arch Manning. We're going to need every player on our roster at some point this year to help us win football games. And there's not been a controversy, and that's just the smart football play, is to get the legs involved with the quarterback. It just is another dimension that the Mike Elko defense has to deal with, right? I mean, they know right now Quinn is, immobile, but now you have Arch, who can bring a running factor to a really good running game. That's just another element of what this can be to make defensive coordinators stay up nights.
I'm getting a text from in the stands that said Banks has walked into the locker room without help, so they're probably just checking him out. But so we don't know if he's going to be back in the game or not.
Well, let's also point out there that Trevor Gooseby found himself pretty darn well.
Yep, he did a good job. Yeah, when Gooseby's been called upon late in the season, he's looked like a guy that has a bright future at Texas.
Yeah, he looks the part for sure. He's grown into that body, and what a frame on him. By the way, some scores from around the country right now. Indiana up on Purdue 21-0. UNLV Nevada 7-7. Last I checked, Oklahoma, OU's up on, LSU and OU are playing a shootout right now. It's in the second quarter. It's 17-14 LSU.
Wow. I'm telling you, Brian Kelly better not lose that game. If he does, the LSU fans will be moving him out. That's a really good job coming up and playing the run. Is that Leonga Lafau? That was a heck of a play. They had a little cutback there. Mari Daniels had a little cutback, and somebody came in and took his legs after a 2-yard gain. I thought that might be a 6-7 yard run. Really good job there.
Alfred Collins in on that tackle too. All right, here comes the quarterback draw designed, and there's the Alfred Collins play. Jade Barron and Alfred Collins coming off of his defensive tackle position. But Longhorns, I was waiting for them to take a commercial break. They didn't, because I guess the 2 reviews got them their first quarter commercial breaks in for ABC tonight.
Yeah, by the way, that is almost a quarterback power type of play, because they fake the handoff to Daniels. Daniels serves as almost a lead blocker, and Reed just follows him, or has the option to follow him. See what they call up here on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that's an old Colin Klein play from K-State days.
Yes, it is. So you're going to bring a little motion, a little jet sweep action, and they ran the jet sweep, and they're going to get the first.
Well, so far, if you're Texas, you're happy with this first quarter. This inside 2 minutes now, presented by Grande Equipment here on our watch along. You've got the rushing yards. You force the first turnover. I just don't think A&M is going to make a living long term with Marcel Reed having to beat you with his arm over the course of a 4-quarter football game, and so far that's true.
He's played well in the pocket. If you force him out of the pockets when he made mistakes throwing, but here he is as a runner. He just took a nice hit there. But it's going to
be crunched that time. Yeah, that was a sandwich job. Michael Taff and Barron Sorrell's coming from the backside.
So we're down to a minute to go, inside a minute in the first quarter of this game. Texas 81 total yards, A&M 92. A&M's dominating time of possession. Well, they're not dominating. They're going to be up by 2.
So far, I mean, the difference in the first quarter is Mike Elko not taking 3 points, and then Marcel Reed throwing a bad interception when the Aggies started with field position at their own 50-yard line. And Texas going 93 yards with it. Woo! Oh, yeah, Anthony Hill got clipped underneath on that one.
That's going to be a first down. Looks like essentially that A&M may run one more play this quarter, but it'll be 1st and 10 on the A&M 46. And A&M, Daniels has 7 carries here in the first quarter. Reuben Owens does have 2 carries for 6 yards in this game, by the way.
Oh, he's back, huh? I thought he was out for the year. I guess he got back.
Yeah, they said he might play. He had the fractured ankle. There he is for 2 yards. He had the fractured ankle, which will be the last play of the first quarter, and they were able to get him back for this game. He'd started running a couple of weeks ago. They thought about playing him against Auburn, but he just wasn't ready.
All right, well, here we go. Longhorns end of the first quarter brought to you by Grande Equipment. Find them online at grandeequipment.com. They are the absolute best. There he is, Coach Shipley. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving, Coach.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hook 'em horns. Let's roll, baby.
Hey, aren't you excited just to see these 2 uniforms back on a football field together?
Man. It's awesome.
What are your thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, it's about what you would expect. Both teams kind of, feeling out the other team, and I think it's a good start. I mean, obviously there's a lot of hype going on in the stadium, and so we got the first quarter under our belt with the lead, which is great. We'll get the opening kickoff of the second half after another quarter ball, so that's good. So, Coach, yeah, Josh. They call me Josh, but no, I'm pleased. I mean, I think we're where we need to be.
Well,
Hey, Coach, a little update. People ask about Kelvin Banks here. Somebody in the stadium told me Kelvin Banks walked back to the Texas locker room under his own power, so they're probably checking it out. We'll see if he returns this game. Trevor Gooseby played really well in that drive. Coach, I have a question. I need your help. Why won't coaches take points anymore?
I don't know. It's so frustrating. I don't know why the Aggies didn't kick the field goal, and I don't know why we didn't kick the field goal. Of course, it turned out better for us.
Right.
But still, it's the fact of the matter is, if you don't get points when you need them in a game like this, you're going to look up and later and wish you had those points.
I don't get it. I think it's because what the analytics is, which is overblown, but these guys make so much money now. It feels like they're all riverboat gamblers. Like Kirby Smart not kicking an extra point to make it 17-7 last night. If he'd done that, the game wouldn't have even gone to overtime. I mean, these guys are thinking like 3 and 4 scores out. I'm like, how about the game right now? I mean, how about the game right now and what might happen down the line? How about taking point? Like, I think that move by Elko at the start of the game was just dumb. You're at home. You have a great crowd. You have a great drive. You reward your home crowd and your team. You take the points and get up early in this game. I think that was just dumb.
Yeah, no doubt. Me too. And then I thought we were going to turn around and do the same thing, So thankfully it worked out for us, but, a game like this, you take points when you get them. I mean, It's just, especially had we not got that crowd would have erupted, and they would be at a whole nother level right now.
Yeah, well, and that's a good point, Coach. On the road, you got to take your opportunities. And, if you're Mike Elko, you just, Sark won the toss, gave you the ball, you drove down the field, and that gives your sideline a win to start the ball game, and those points still count. It's still 3 points. I think you're right. What do you make of the 93-yard touchdown drive? 10 plays. Gosh, by my count, almost 40 yards came from your quarterbacks. Quinn took off for 22, looked okay with that ankle, and then Arch Manning in the game in the Arch package. Who had Arch with the first touchdown of this rivalry renewed?
Yeah, nobody had that on their bingo card for sure. But, what about Wisner? I mean, the guy has started off almost 50 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, 11 and a half yards a carry.
The line is doing a great job on our run blocking. I hope we continue to mix it up and keep them off balance. Here we go with the start of the second quarter.
Texas 3 timeouts, A&M 2, by the way, starting the second quarter. A&M run a little bit of heavy package at Texas.
Yeah, pretty even first quarter as far as yards and first downs and such. Really was about that one turnover and the not taking a field goal for Mike Elko. It's why it's 7-0. And then Texas came off their own goal line. Can't understand how big that face mask penalty was, too, on A&M when they forced a negative play. That 15 yards got Texas off the goal line and led to the touchdown drive. But now A&M moving the ball into Texas territory now with a first down.
like the way our defense is playing. They've given up some stuff, but the first couple of drives, the first quarter especially, you're going to get that OC's best shot probably, because he's trying to create some momentum in this game for his team, and I think you're going to see their best shots in the first quarter and second and third drive. So I like the way our defense is playing up to this point.
Brought a fifth man on a blitz there, so brought the extra pressure. Good job by Vernon getting penetration there and forcing Reed to get the ball out of his hand early.
Yeah, big second and long here. Texas can force a third and long. There it is. There's the first sack of the game. Vernon Broughton, that middle pressure, the senior out of Cypress, making the play right there. Vernon Broughton pushing that pocket.
Yeah, that's one thing about Marcel Reed. He's and we've talked about this during the week. He doesn't take much for him to go down. You know, he's a great dual threat quarterback, but you can arm tackle him and get him down really easily.
And that dual threat's on the perimeter. That's where they like to get in.
That's right.
By the way, that's A&M had given up 10 sacks in the last 3 SEC starts for Marcel Reed. So they're struggling pass pro. That's out there. People know it, and Texas knows it. More pressure coming. They run a little slip screen there for nothing.
Yeah, if Texas can get a score here on this drive, if they field the punt successfully, cleanly, really kind of quietens the crowd a little bit.
Hey, by the way, Reed had that little hitch in his giddy up that he had in the Auburn game, jogging off the field. So he's not 100% either. And a guy like that's not 100% changes his game running. I'm not saying it's truly affecting him yet, but you keep hitting him and it's going to affect him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Coach, for our audience out there, when you're on the sidelines, these first quarters, I mean, fans get really fired up because they've been waiting all week for the game. On the sidelines, you just talked about those scripted plays and how things play out. I mean, nobody's panicked on the sidelines at this point. What are the sidelines like? What are the conversations about now that you've seen some scripted plays? What's working, what's not? That's because coaches are playing like for the 12 round battle here. What's going on the sidelines right now into the second quarter?
I think Sark's got to feel good. Sark and his offensive staff have to feel good about where they're at right now. They've got their running game working for them. And so if you have your running game working for you, that really does take a load off of you play calling wise, because, passing, we haven't done really anything passing yet to speak of. 4 of 7 for -6 yards. That's not much of a passing stat, but we do have 87 yards rushing. And I don't know that I would have thought we'd be able to run the ball as well as we have up to this point. But I think you've settled into the game, and everybody's kind of settled in. Everybody knows what to expect now. So you just focus and just take them one drive at a time. And I really like the way our defense is playing. I like the way we're running the ball offensively. I'd like to see us have a little more success, of course, throwing the ball. But as long as we're running the ball, then I think we're going to be okay.
Yep. And then when they're playing those flats like that, Coach and Jerry, I mean, there's got to be counters to that, right? If they're going to over pursue those quick, short passing game, there's got to be use their aggression against them and create something down the field, create a reverse, something. Sark's got those in his bag.
I can't tell you how important I think continued perimeter passing game is for the run game, Coach, because he's got to keep those linebackers looking false step, and even with their eyes, he's got to keep them thinking that this ball could go out to the perimeter and make them run and run and run the whole game, and then hit them with the run in between the hashes. I think that's so important when you're playing a aggressive defense like A&M.
Yeah, I do too. Just really keep them off balance. And as long as you have the running game going with the passing game, you've got your whole offense at your disposal. It's not like they're shutting down, anything yet. I'm a little concerned about our passing game up to this point, but we'll see. Hopefully the second quarter will come out and have a little more success throwing the ball. But as I said, as long as we're running the ball, we're okay. I mean, it's no
protecting the quarterback, right? And then Quinn showed, he doesn't look razor sharp by any stretch, but at the same time, a lot of those, they're just covering up those passes that he's just, trained to throw. same time, there's, if you're asking me, Jerry, that your issue is Sark's got to make an adjustment off of what they're doing. That's what you trust that Sark has that they can flip to here. And maybe here on this drive, after going 93 yards and 10 plays, maybe there's an explosive play they can create here between this timeout now that they have the ball back.
It's kind of interesting seeing Arch early like that. I wonder if we're going to see him more from time to time. Just have have him spot play from time to time.
Yeah, I think in the third and shorts, those areas, I do think we could see, even though it's not Sark's bread and butter, Sark wants to win a football game. I think he'll do anything to win this football game. He has to. And if that means Arch is a run threat on third and shorts or fourth and shorts, I think it's going to happen.
Well, Jaden Blue back in the game now. Let's pray he hangs on to the football.
Trevor Gooseby still in there. That Kelvin Banks still out. Again, if anybody missed that, he walked into the locker room. They were just checking him out, but Trevor Gooseby still in at left tackle. And those perimeter runs, again, you got to run it on the perimeter. You got to pass it on the perimeter to soften it up, to run it in between the hashes. So I think all these plays are very important as this game moves along.
And there we go. All right. And Coach, I like it as just something else the defense has to worry about. The Arch package. I mean, just his legs, it adds a new element to the run game, and he just shows he can power his way in, run through arm tackles, and this makes this team harder to defend. Sark has said all along, we're going to need every player to win a championship, and start to implement it now in your toughest road environment of the year.
Well, time for Gunnar Helm to make a big play.
Yeah, this is typical. And Quinn make a throw here. We haven't seen Quinn push the ball down between the hash marks yet. Everything's been to the sides.
Gunnar Helm he's the X factor for us.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is, Coach.
He's a guy that can really make a difference in our offense, I think. I mean, he's a guy you always have to know where he is, and I love those intermediate routes that he runs. He's got great hands.
Dangerous throw, but a tight window throw nonetheless, but Gunnar caught it.
Man, I mean, look, it's probably the ball should not have been thrown, but it was completed.
That's a fair assessment. Completely fair. And there's the first sack of Quinn.
Yeah,
they're going to start bringing pressure. There's Torian York there coming with the middle linebacker blitz.
They have to. They have to start bringing six. And if you know what, if Quinn hits it deep on him, he hits it deep on him. We've seen A&M do this all year, but they're going to protect that secondary, and they're going to protect that secondary bringing numbers.
And that's Jaden Blue not getting a blitz pickup. Yeah, that's a Jaden Blue's got to pick up the blitz better than that, but they're going to start bringing it. You know that's coming.
Yeah.
Got him. Matthew Golden, big play. There's the chunk play you were looking for. Down the seam. Good throw by Quinn Ewers.
Great throw by Quinn.
Great throw.
Hey, Quinn outside the numbers, that is his weak point as a quarterback, down the field outside the numbers, and he just dotted him when he had to dot him. Great throw by Quinn. Great throw. Really good coverage by Lee. I mean, he's right there with a chance to knock the ball away. Maybe a step behind, but great throw by Quinn.
Well, sorry, I'm probably a little ahead of you guys.
Sounds like
you always are, Coach. You got the super service out there, man. You got that extra coaches films.
Yeah, it's a little extra for that subscription. Get it ahead of time.
Well, you said it, Coach. That now is a flag now. Coach, you said it though. If Texas can punch this in and you run the ball into the end zone here, you really take this crowd out of it.
Yeah, that's a roughing the passer penalty against the Aggies.
Look,
yeah,
I mean,
there
you go. Oh yeah, that's an easy call.
Well, and that's they're going to take shots, and it's Shamar Turner that takes the heat for being the dirty guy, but same time you take that. I was talking about this week. You can't retaliate to that. You got to protect your quarterback, but man, you let them go ahead and beat themselves.
Look, I think A&M's bringing numbers and playing a little more man, guys.
They are.
They know he has to stop the run and to get pressure on Quinn.
Yeah.
And with that said, I would still run the ball right here, maybe on the first two downs. But my thing here, I'm not Sark. I'm a little more conservative, but I want to get points here. Unless now we are in Matthew Golden territory, by the way.
Coaches are they're showing some trust.
Love it. I love that
in
first
there
down call.
with Jaden Blue.
I think
going to need him.
We're going to have Arch in coming up.
Yeah, Arch is in.
I think so. And look at Quinn. Tapping in 5. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, I love this. I mean, I don't think this is just for this game. I think this is something if you're going to go win a college football championship, his legs in this area are huge. And
just the threat of it now.
Well, yeah, you can throw it if you need to.
Forced A&M into a timeout.
Yep.
They need to think about this, because now that they know that the way we used Arch the last series, they got to have a timeout to say, okay, we got to make sure we have this quarterback run covered, guys. So that really adds another dimension to our offense now that they've seen Arch run it in his only play for a touchdown. And now they're like, okay, we got to make sure we have the quarterback draw and the quarterback run covered. So how are we going to do this in the red zone?
Yeah, and again, A&M down the 1 timeout, which is technically 2 with the 2-minute timeout, but they are down the 1 timeout they can call.
No, and I think that's exactly right. That's what I'm saying about. I don't think this Arch package is just for tonight. I think if you're going to go play Georgia next week, if you're going to get into the college football playoff and have to go win big games, why not? I mean, he's a very talented player who brings an element, especially in this area of the field, that, as you just said, Coach, makes it very hard on defenses because Quinn's not going to run. You have to defend the pass and what he likes. Arch can throw the ball, so it's not like he's like just a one-dimensional wildcat player back there. He makes you defend the whole length of the field there.
Well, now what you can do with Arch is, and you can borrow a play from the Kansas State playbook now, as the OC from A&M is the former Kansas State quarterback who ran this play so well. You know the play I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to take a step back. Then he's going to run the quarterback draw, and right before he gets to the line of scrimmage, he raises up and dumps it.
Pump pass.
Yeah. This is a great position for us to be in to run that play.
Oh, Coach is calling a pop pass. Hey, let me tell you about our second quarter partner here on the On Texas Watch Along. It's my buddy Bert Cedillo and the team at ATX Trees. We told you about them throughout the year here. The simple message from their tree farm to your home. I mean, these are trees over 30 gallons. These are mature trees that they've been growing in their tree farm for decades and decades. They can bring to your house, and they maintain them. They're experts in this field. It's the ability to have immediate tree presence in your house or on your property, at your business, and not wait the decades for them to grow and fully become the shade that you want, the look that you want. They have over 18 varieties in stock and different levels of maturity. They obviously can get you what you need. Special orders are obviously available too. They install them, pull them out of their tree farm and bring them to your house or land or property. They will remove a tree if you need one too. They'll trim and irrigate your landscape. They also do the xeriscapes as you see there on the screen. They do an amazing job. This drought, we're in one right now. The drought tolerant xeriscaping is a great way to go to save money on water and other issues. You see it all right there. 749-5149, 512. They're based in Dripping Springs. Their tree farm is up in Liberty Hill, and they are a family-owned company for 25 years. You'll find them online at atxtrees.com. That's atxtrees.com. Bert Cedillo and the team. Cedillo family is tremendous, and we appreciate them so very much, and they wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We do as well. All right, y'all, here we go. This is Coach calling a pop pass.
I'm calling no turnover. I just want points, no turnovers here. Keep your momentum.
I like it because it's Quinn. It's back to Quinn now. They use the timeout. Now it's back to Quinn in the pony package here, though. Pony package.
Watch something to Matthew Golden here.
Jaden Blue back corner. Did he catch it?
That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown.
That's a great throw by Quinn too. Oh, they're saying out of bounds.
No, when you see the replay, you'll see he's got a foot down. It's going to be a touchdown.
Oh yeah, that's a heck of a throw and a heck of a catch.
Unless that's going to be. Are they going to take a look at it?
Yeah,
unless it's under review. Did his heel hit the back? Did his heel hit the chalk back there? Is my question. I think that's a great eye.
Did he control it though? Because he's grabbing on the ball, but I think he's got a catch there.
It's amazing how that ball got in there. That's just amazing. Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, the only thing that they're gonna look at is did he control it to the ground? Is the language, and the defensive back reached in and kind of chucked at it, but I don't think that is going to count. But I think his foot's down. Yeah, that's a catch.
It's amazing how that ball got through there. It's just amazing. Anderson had great coverage on that.
Great coverage. Yes. Great throw by Quinn. Great coverage. Great throw. Good concentration by Blue.
Look at that under his shoulder pad and right into the breadbasket. That's a heck of a throw, Quinn.
I think it's a touchdown, guys.
I do too.
Well, watch here. He's got to control it to when he hits the ground, and then right as he hits the ground, the defender grabs the ball.
I think it's a touchdown.
I do too.
Foot is in.
Some kind of throw.
Boy, I tell you what, you're right about the heel. They're showing another good view of the heel, but I think it's in.
Oh yeah, that's in. Look at the camera work. There should always be a pylon cam in every game, guys. But
yeah, no doubt.
Did not touch the white line.
That will be a huge play here because it would be third down if not.
This is a huge play because if not, it's 3rd and 6 from the 7. If not, it's more than likely a field goal. This is a huge call coming up. Good pass pro by Texas, giving Quinn enough time there, giving him a clean pocket. Trevor Goosey's played really well in this game.
He has. And he's blocking a real good player in Nick Skirton.
Yes, he is.
Oh. They're showing another angle now. I'm not so sure now.
Did his heel hit?
It looks a little closer from when you're looking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I thought the pylon cam was pretty definitive. That's as good as a view you're going to get. It looked in, but, this is one of those they might just keep it to where it was. Too close to overturn. But it looks like a touchdown to me.
Camera working, man. That's 100% true. Let's see.
Touchdown. Great play.
Shipley was holding it back. Great throw by Quinn. Hey, look, Quinn Ewers, this sip's for you. That's a hell of a drive, dude.
Wow.
That's a hell of a drive. That's a hell of a throw. The Longhorns are up 2 scores. And that's kind of that play I've been waiting on, guys, where you fake the little short pass because they were overextending to it and go throw behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you a touchdown out of the pony package. I like that because, you saw Isaiah Bond fake the short play. They jumped it with 3 guys. Jaden went behind him, and that's a touchdown.
There were a lot of good in that. Quinn, great drive. Jaden Blue caught the football. He's had fumble issues, but he's really good catching the ball in the backfield. Even though he's had a couple of drops, I just think he's been tired in games. He's played more than he has ever. But now is that really good coverage by by Anderson. There's not really anything you can say there other than great play all around.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That was just ball just happened to be at the perfect place.
Well, 14-0 on the road with the #1 defense in the country. You like that right now. No turnovers for Texas, 1 for A&M. After some early success offensively, A&M has not done much. And Longhorns had a sack and a negative play on the last drive. And I always do this about midway through the second quarter, start talking about the double dip. But A&M does get Texas does get the ball out of half. They won the toss and deferred. So Texas now can get the ball back, control the last 4 to 8 minutes of the quarter, and get the ball coming out of halftime. This is an opportunity to really create some separation in this football game in the next 8 to 25.
Yeah,
no doubt. Again,
ankle is, Coach. Let's see how Marcel Reed is when he comes back into this game too.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I was going to say again, it's just I love the way that Sark has confidence in his players, even when they make a mistake. We saw the press conference where Jaden was carrying around the football all week, and here Coach puts him in some critical play calls in the first quarter or second quarter, and he winds up scoring a touchdown on an incredible reception, keeping his foot in bounds, and giving the Longhorns a 2-touchdown lead. I love that about Sark. He doesn't just give up on players. It's sometimes guys make a mistake or two and they can't get out of the doghouse. Coach just can't get past that. And if the coach can't get past it, the player can't get past it.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly, the insight that our audience loves from you, Coach. I mean, you got to believe in your players, even when they make mistakes. It's like being a parent, man. They're going to make mistakes and you don't give up on them. Just coach them through it. I think that's exactly right. All right, after the Longhorns dominated on the ground, then their 10-play drive, they turn around and they go down the field mostly through the air. The Matthew Golden explosive was the biggest play of the drive as they got over the top on the double move there. Longhorns now up to 61 passing yards, 151 total, 90 on the ground, a touchdown run for Arch Manning, a touchdown throw for Quinn Ewers. And, I was feeling bad on our pregame show today on the radio, guys, for Quinn because, he's playing better than I think we thought he would. He's 8 for 11 for 61 yards and a touchdown. He's got a 22-yard run that dang there was a 40-yard run if he doesn't get his heel on the ground out of bounds. But, he wanted to play in this game. These are legacy games, Coach. These are games that define you as a player, and this is probably his last year as a Longhorn. So glad that he's out there playing, gutting his way out through it, and then playing really well.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's that kind of game. I mean, Case McCoy had a, roller coaster career at UT, but he'll always be remembered for that crazy run and he gets hit. It looks like he's, bumper cars, but it was interesting watching him being interviewed this week when he said when he made that run and got tackled, he knew they won the game. He had confidence in their kicker, and which is proved to be probably one of the best kickers in NFL history. And anyway, it's a game where legends are made for sure, and Quinn needs something like this. I mean, he's had some great wins in his career, but this is something he really needs to solidify himself. I think with a nice game and a win over A&M.
I want to say this: if the Texas offensive line plays like this, and let's remember they're moving the ball. Trevor Gooseby at left tackle, the All-American Kelvin Banks has not been in the last couple of series. If Texas offensive line holds up like this and plays at this level tonight, then they can chase 30 points in this game. They got a chance at it. 28, 27, 28.
Yeah, they got 14 now, and well, I would expand that, Jerry. If they play like this, they can beat anybody in the country, right? This is a team that can play into deep January with the number one defense, 2 quarterbacks now. If their offensive line plays like this, they absolutely can. It's funny. I was watching what was it, Third and Longhorn podcast. They were talking to Jeremy Hill's coach about that Case McCoy play, and he told because he was on the field, he was an open receiver, and Case didn't throw him the ball in that play, and he said Case looked at him and in that West Texas drawl said, "Go block." Go block. So he turned and went and blocked.
Well, Case was actually supposed to throw an out to Jackson.
Yeah.
On that play. And Jackson fell down out of his break. And so Case said, I'm out of here. I'm not waiting around for somebody else.
Well, and Jeremy's impression of Case was classic. I mean, because Colt has a little thick West Texas drawl to him, but Case has it for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, all right, here comes a little 4.5 yard gain on first down. And look, again, one of the huge things for Texas here is to get A&M in known passing downs because their offensive line is going to struggle in pass pro. We've seen it too much this year. We're already seeing it tonight. Texas has to get Reed and A&M offense as many known passing downs as possible because they will get pressure.
Right on cue, Jerry. Right on cue.
They can't pass pro. These guys have given up 10 sacks in the last 3 SEC games in offensive line with a dual threat quarterback.
Who's hurt? Get up, boys. Yeah, man, they're doing a great job of everything we scouted this week and talked about. Contain it, don't overrush it, leave your rush lanes, and let your coverage work, and then get them in the interior pressure. I mean,
sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm a little ahead of you.
Hey, by the way, Ty Anthony Smith's in this game already. Wow.
When he was an A&M commitment at one point, right?
Yes, he was for a long time at that.
Bang. There you go. There's the collision you're talking. Oh,
Ooh, that's
They
going
got-
Yeah, I
to
know there's a flag on the play.
be targeting.
Yep, it sure is. Dadgummit.
And he's going to be out of the game, by the way.
is that Makuba or Gilbo with the target?
Yeah, Makuba.
And he's going to be out of the game if that stands.
That puts Jelani McDonald in the game. Have you seen a replay, Coach? Is it targeting?
I don't know. It's going to be close. It was. I don't think. I don't know. He kind of grazes his face mask.
Oh, that's his shoulder, though, I think, guys.
Yeah.
I think, I want to see. Let's see this.
Oh, well, back of the helmet.
Yeah.
He's just kind of cutting him off.
It wasn't with the crown. Does it have to be with the crown?
Yeah.
Well, because he didn't lower and launch. He was just trying to cut him off to the corner.
They should flip. They should change this. In my
I
opinion.
agree with that. I agree with that. That's just a collision.
I think that's a collision. If they toss Makuba for this, I would have a serious issue with it. Now, unless they just say the crown of the helmet made first contact. But still, I mean, what are you supposed to do in that situation as a safety? It's 3rd and 7, and the guy's going for first down.
Yeah, you're trying to cut him off to the corner.
You're trying to cut him off to the corner. This call should be reversed.
I agree with that. I'd also say if they call that and leave hit out and they didn't call the Georgia targeting last night on the Haynes King fumble, like I don't know what else is targeting. What that late in that game, that when the fumble happened, I mean when he lowered his head and launched right into him, and that was the textbook case of targeting against Georgia Tech. Sark's pleading his case. We'll see. That's important. Now, the one thing you would like is that Jelani McDonald has seen a lot of playing time.
Let's see what they're going to call.
Mike Elko's not happy. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they got the call right, guys. I think they got the call right.
They got the call right. That's
Well,
not
that's going to get Texas off the field then. Mike Elko's not happy.
He is not happy.
Tickle me, Elko. Tickle me, Elko. That's not targeting.
No, it's not. I mean, we understand all why it's in the game and why they call it, and that was not a dangerous play.
No.
That was not dangerous for the hitter, the striker, or the person being tackled. It was a good, clean football play.
Elko is not giving up. He's got the white hat with her now.
Yeah.
Well,
Bobby Burton just texted, "Watch the fake," and I agree with him. Except Elko's losing his mind right now,
Yeah.
so special teams coach would have to call it because he's not in a position to make a call.
Well, I think he realized this game's unraveling on him. I mean, they needed that first down.
Yeah,
more than anything. I mean, they were there. That was now they got a punt.
Now they don't have
15 yards.
enough people. They don't have enough people on the field. I think he's going to have to use his last time out. Maybe, I'm not sure. Not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, they're a mess. Well, Jerry just said it. I mean, that he's arguing the officials and no one's controlling what's happening on the field. It's 4th down now. I mean, that was going to be a first down. I think that's the bigger part for Elko right now. I mean, was he wanted that first down.
Yeah.
Because they punt back to Texas here. Texas is feeling pretty good about where they're at.
Well, I see one deep back they're not going to snap the ball to. He ain't going anywhere with it. Big Tubby.
I dare this guy to outkick the coverage.
Oh, he dang sure did. Dadgum. That was a heck of a punt. He put it all the way out of the end zone.
Wow, that is a rocket.
He's got a monster leg.
Who is that?
That's Tyler White from South Lake Carroll, I believe. South Lake Carroll's where he went.
All right, well, that's to break for Texas. That thing rolled all the way through the end zone, so it's 1st and 10 at the 25.
He got a golf clap from Shane Leckler on that one.
Yeah, he did. I really do think CDC tries to outdress McConaughey. Do you know that?
I think you're right.
Well, we need next time CDC's on the channel, we got to ask him, do you stand next to McConaughey so you get your TV time? How many texts do you get during these games? Is there a bet that you can be on TV from your boys or what?
Hey, he spends too much money at the haberdasher to not get some TV time for the outfits he wears. They both look sharp, though. Here we go. Here's Trey Wisner running through tackles and doing his thing. This is where you'd like to see Texas line up and run some 4-minute offense here and really get after the run game.
Goosby's still in at left tackle, so we haven't seen Kelvin Banks back, and we have not received any word on Kelvin Banks for those wondering in the chat.
And, you know, as long as
saying something here, but obviously I can't hear
it. As long as we keep a 2-touchdown lead, well, it looks like he's back in the game now.
Who, Banks? Yeah, I would assume they went in for an X-ray because he kind of got kicked at the top of his foot.
Well, no, maybe not.
I think Goosby's still in. Yeah,
that's Goosby. Yeah, that is. As long as you've got a 2-touchdown lead, and Goosby's playing good, I don't know that you would want to risk furthering the injury to Banks.
I agree with that, and Goosby's playing great. Yeah, I like this right here, guys.
Somebody said Wisner came out a little gimpy on his left leg. Probably just took a hit. I see him back there. He's kind of stretching it out.
Yeah, he kind of got bent weird on that 8-yard run to start the drive. There you go. There's Ryan Wingo into the open field. Good throw from Quinn.
Look, we talked about it all week, Coach. If you can pass pro, guys are going to be open. This A&M defense has given up chunk yardage plays in the passing game all year. If you pass pro, Texas has too much speed. They're going to have guys open. Good job, Trevor Goosby, one-on-one on the backside.
Yep, and that message right there, tune up clock. Yeah, you're under almost to 4.5 minutes here of the dime. Whoa, that's a play blown up. Good thing the ball didn't get fumbled.
Yeah, no turnovers here. Quinn got smoked on that play.
Yeah, that was a heat-seeking missile play. Same guy that had the roughing the passer.
I'm not sure if he was going to pull that out and try to throw it.
Yeah, they just miscommunicated. That's the first blown assignment on the O-line in this game. This brings up 2nd and long, though.
The key here, guys, is points.
Well, and certainly no turnovers here because
is going to be
reeling. What you don't need is momentum back in that stadium.
Yeah.
Little throwback. Yep, that's all right. Throw in the dirt.
Yeah, they brought too many numbers on that one.
Yeah, it's almost that's what I was thinking. It was some kind of screen on 2nd and 14. Elko was thinking the same thing.
I'm thinking about if it's me, we got to fight on the sidelines already.
Oh, nice.
Oh my goodness.
If it's me on this 3rd down, I might run a little bit of a draw action here, Coach. Try to get down inside into the 28 yard line area and get a 45-yard field goal.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be a good call.
You know, not surprising, Silas Bolden's the guy involved in the fight, Coach.
Yeah,
and Will Lee on the A&M side. That guy talks more for a guy who's not a great player. That guy talks way too much for a guy that's not a great player.
All right, 3rd and 14. The Wingo play. Don't want to waste that. The Longhorns need some yards here.
Run the ball.
This is Gunnar Helm time. Gunnar Helm time, Coach.
I'll throw it to Gunnar Helms.
Hey, Gunnar Helm, what do you know?
It was actually a broken play. And then they went into the scramble drill, and so Gunnar turns around and starts going upfield. And Quinn throws it just before he reaches the line of scrimmage.
I was going to say, that's a great play by Quinn, knowing where he was on the field, Coach, because he was a half yard from going past the line of scrimmage.
Here comes Manning.
Oh, here we go. The plot thickens.
Great field awareness by Quinn Ewers on that throw. He's playing a high-level football game after he settled in. Very high level.
There's your quarterback draw, Coach. There you go.
Yeah, as a play late. Thankfully,
right.
Jerry and I aren't calling the plays.
Well, Well, they go up 3 scores here with the ball coming out of halftime, guys. This is looking good. And now you want as much Arch Manning as you want to start really making Georgia prep for that. I know there's a lot of time in this game, but you want to put as much on film as you can. Well, that was big. That give Quinn some props here, guys, because and folks out there. I mean, he's playing on a gimpy ankle. He just made an ad-lib play on a 3rd and 14 to get you down here, and guys playing his guts out tonight. I like it.
No, yeah, tremendous job by Quinn. Look, that should have been a face mask there.
Yeah,
is Will Lee again?
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to go. Look, he's trying to goat Texas into a penalty here.
He is.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the 2-minute warning now.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. When they got the ball with 6 minutes, let's go. You go on a 4-minute offense drive. This is big because
I can't believe they didn't throw a flag on 26 for A&M there. He grabbed him by the face, pulled him down.
Well, he just got worn down the sidelines a minute ago. How many of these little chippy things do you get to get involved in?
See, that'd be funny if after this 2 minute the refs huddled up and threw a flag.
Elko would love that.
Dang.
Oh my goodness!
All right, well here we are. 225 total yards for Texas, 108 for A&M. Most of those came early. This is you score or even kick a field goal here, guys. You've chewed up the last 5 minutes of this clock into the 2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout as they call it, and you make Marcel Reed have to beat you with his arm here coming out, and you're getting the ball coming out of halftime. This is a real opportunity for Texas.
Yeah, Quinn needs to be very cautious with the football here. The points are what matters. If Sark calls something, I'm sure he's going to call something towards a pylon where Quinn's job is to throw it where only his guy can make a play, and if not, it's an incompletion.
Yep.
I think we can still get a first down. I think we got the ball on the 8-yard line. I think it's 3rd and 6.
Well, that would be ideal because you can use the clock here. Yeah, 100%.
Heck, DMS 1983, Goolsby's making me feel really good about next year's line. Look, here's the thing about Trevor Goolsby, Art, this time out. Trevor Goolsby upstairs intellectually is a high-level football player. His whole deal that didn't follow his recruitment, he's needed time to get stronger and develop. He grew so fast. His strength's got to catch up to his frame. But his intellect is very high level to play the tackle position. And he's got the length, and he's got the feet. He's got the body quickness. The whole thing about him, it's been a 2-year process of getting stronger to where he's ready to play game after game and has that strength to hold up in a conference like the SEC. And he's getting there, and he's playing at a high level tonight so far.
Coach, I'm sure you had high school players like that back in the day that you just knew were going to be, as they grew into their body. You knew they were good football players. You knew they were, high-level, intelligent guys, but they just had to grow into the frame.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You see those guys when they're young, and it's a lot of fun coaching those guys that you see had the potential. When you see guys, I can't tell you how many times as coaching staff we'd sit here and say, I wish I could put that guy's athletic ability in this guy's that has all the heart in his body, and if you can ever do that, get a guy that has that crazy chip on his shoulder, but he's crazy talented. Those are the guys that you can see at a young age that when they fill into their body, they're gonna be great ones. And I think Goolsby is a great example of that.
Yep. All right, that was our 2-minute timeout. Our second quarter is brought to you by ATX Trees here on the On Texas Football Watch Along. Bert Cedillo and his team. From their tree farm to your yard. These are mature trees. And here we go. Let's get no, go ahead. Back to the game. We'll do that later. Here we go. Here is Quinn Ewers on a big 3rd and 6. A first down is possible. Safe play. Trey Wisner on a run.
I like it. If you catch them off guard, you catch them off guard. But you let the clock run all the way down unless A&M calls a timeout.
Yeah, A&M used their last timeout. So
that's probably smart by A&M. So that gives them a minute and something to work with after a field goal and a kickoff. So smart timeout call there by Elko. Sark will kick the field goal here for anybody wondering if he doesn't.
I'm wondering if he's going to go out and try to get him to jump off sides, maybe.
He could use a
He's still
timeout.
talking. Before they went to the commercial break, he was still talking to the offense on the sideline. So,
how about you put Arch in there and see if he'll do the hard count? Get them really off. Oh man, this is good drama right here. Well, either way, if you kick a field goal here, because they don't have any timeouts, you can kick a field goal, and then they've got to do a 2-minute drill. And as the message says, there a 3-score lead.
My
Nothing wrong with
goodness.
that.
Take the points. Gotta be kidding me.
No, he's messing with us.
No,
I don't think he is. I think it looks like the real Coach Shipley.
Are you kidding me? Surely he's just trying to draw him with all this pre-shot. Yeah. Yeah. He's taking the points. Sark lost his mind if he goes for this.
I thought he might try to get him to jump off sides.
I thought you were trying to jump off sides.
We could even use a timeout. I think we're going to take the penalty.
I would take the 5-yard penalty because this is a tough angle from the 5, kicking back for a right-footed kicker. I'd take the 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Good. That's worth a try. That's worth you give a free first down. You run out the half and score a touchdown. That's worth the effort and discipline on their side.
Yeah, you have the timeouts to play with. If you get
the ball
back.
This is this defense. You put Marcel Reed in a situation where he's got to be a passer here with no timeouts and contain him. You may be able to force a turnover here. Well, defensively, if you make this field goal.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Old Bird Auburn. Texas up 17-0 on the road. First half's gone about as good as you could have expected or anticipated in this game. Longhorns force a turnover, score a touchdown, stop a 4th down on defense. They allowed no points so far, and they've got 3 scores themselves. 2 touchdowns, 1 an Arch Manning touchdown run, 1 a Quinn Ewers beautiful throw and catch to Jaden Blue, and now a field goal, 28 yards. And you can put Marcel Reed in a position where he can't be real comfortable, Jerry and Coach. I mean, where he's got to be a 2-minute quarterback.
Yeah, well, you can't be prevent defense or too conservative here because a minute and 40 seconds after a kick is plenty of time in college football with the athletes we have nowadays. I think you got to mix the coach. You got to mix the zone with the aggressive in front of it. But Marcel Reed is going to have to play smart and keep himself in bounds and keep his team in bounds. And that's going to be the big thing because I still want to dial up pressure on this guy. I don't want to just back in a prevent at all.
That's what I hope we do. I hope we bring pressure. I hope we have somebody spying him as well. I hope we get a sack and a stop. We'll use some timeout, see if we can get the ball back.
Well, fair catches to 15. That was kind of that cool little pooch kick thing. And so now they've got to go 85 yards.
And I don't mean Texas is going to be in a prevent, but safety's 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. 2 safeties 15 yards off. I hope we're a little more aggressive than that. A&M doesn't have speed to beat you over the top unless you bust.
Man, Quinn's playing as good as you could have expected him on this ankle.
I got to tell you, after he's got settled in, this is the best. This is the best he's played since Michigan. I'm just being real. I've been hard on him. I've given him A's. I've given him D's. This is the best he's played since Michigan, in my estimation.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's made 3 or 4 plays like he made in the Michigan game. And again, offensive line's pass pro. Quinn has time, and Sark has time for his plays to develop. If they do, A&M's going to have a tough time defending Texas. They don't have the secondary at A&M yet to defend Texas for a long period of time. They don't have the Georgia talent linebacker or in the secondary.
It looks like Texas bringing some pressure here. At least showing it. No, just 4.
All right, so we got a big 3rd and 2 coming up here for A&M because we assume if you stopped them, Sark would take it into the half up 3 scores, and A&M that couldn't stop the clock. We assume that would happen. But let's see if we can get off the field here.
Yeah, big 3rd down and 2, minute 38 left.
If I'm A&M, I might just run this football here And if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I just let the
Well, you're
clock.
running into a 3-man front here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I mean, they have to get the first down. They can't give the ball back to Texas
the
right now.
because they got a guy that can punt at 60 though.
Well, they're not listening to me.
That's a easy throwing catch.
Well, but you'll give this up, right? I mean,
they got an NFL kicker, so if they get to the 55-yard range, he can give it a leg swing. So they're what about?
Looked like there was a hold there on offensive lineman. Did you guys see that?
I did
about
not
to see the play on the third down play or first down. Oh
First.
yeah, on Trey Moore for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at Anthony Hill shadowing Marcel Reed. That's a luxury most teams don't have. If you have a mobile quarterback like they have, Anthony Hill runs side to side with anybody, right? He just kind of chased him out of bounds like somebody like just jungle cat kind of thing, just shadowing where he goes. That should have been a hold though too. He grabbed the back of his jersey, clear as day.
No doubt. And look, they've moved the ball 14 yards in 13 seconds. So, not much time's gone by here. So I like the pressure from the outside than the inside, flushing him out of the pocket. But this guy's slippery. This is where he's
good. First down, so the clock's going to run. The good tackle right there because that clock's going to run until they get a first down. Now it's third down, guys. I thought they were going to try to slip one. That'll stop the clock.
Out the midfield, so they need about 15 yards for the 52-yarder, which plenty of time to do that. But they're not playing for that. They're playing to try to get a touchdown, obviously.
Oh. Who missed that tackle? That's a tackle you got to make. You get him in bounds, the clock runs.
Was that Muhammad over there?
Yeah, you don't see him. You see this team miss many tackles. That's why when you see one, a bust or a missed tackle, like, wait, hey, come on now. This is the number one defense in the country. That's the play you got to make. But either way, clock is stopped at 51 seconds, 2nd and 6. How far to go to field goal range? Like the 37?
I think at home field, not much wind tonight. He can rip it from 55. They're saying he needs to get to the 35 for a 52-yarder.
So anything inside that between the yellow and the green could be in his range.
A&M actually doing a good job on this drive with no timeouts.
They are. They're executing at a high level, and Texas is getting pressure, but they're executing around it. Reed's doing a good job.
Well, they just don't want to give up that big play, that explosive, and they'll give up the dink and dunk stuff. But A&M's not winning this game with field goals.
Good coverage down the field by Texas, coach, because he's dumping it off every single time.
Every time, yeah. And he's being pressured every time.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is the long game. They kick a field goal here. Texas gets the ball out of half. You feel really good about the half, and you didn't give up, the chunk play in the hole.
I'll tell you this: A&M better get this first right here.
Oh, that's 100% true.
Sark's got 3 timeouts.
And they're not getting it. Texas ball, 30 seconds.
Coach, do you take it in the half?
Yeah. Yeah.
I might one. Oh, look, now Marcel Reed's hobbled, guys. Marcel Reed's now got the same issue Quinn does.
He had it last week against Auburn.
Yeah, you'll see on the replay his ankle kind of almost looks like it's self-inflicted a little bit. Kind of trips over his other foot.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
boy.
He kicked his own shin.
And you said he heard it last week. I remember seeing that.
Great defensive stop, really good defensive series, consistent pressure the whole way through.
Well, I mean, I said earlier, Jerry, before Coach came on, I mean, Texas gives up fewer explosive plays than any team in the country, and you see it over and over again. They don't give up chunk plays, almost never. And that's a good ball club there.
Yeah.
By the way, who had LSU at OU over 50 points in the first half or near it?
Yeah.
31-17 LSU right now.
Look, Sark took this time out here, Coach. I think Sark is making this A&M defense play 3 more plays. Just take a knee. You're going to play 3 more plays against us right now.
Well, I'm sure he's going to try to get us in field goal range.
Yeah.
And if you get a look you like, take it. You said it. You in there, but the protection's been good, Jerry. There's going to be open receivers down the field, and Quinn has shown that he feels.
Quinn's got to be super smart with the football right here, because the last thing you can do is throw a pick 6 or do something that lets A&M back in the game.
Right, 100%. That's what I'm saying. You see a look you like, and Quinn. That's one thing you'll say about Quinn, whatever his flaws are. He typically will take care of the football. And now I'm going to regret saying that, but we'll see. Oh man, he made a good throw.
Made a good throw.
It could have been pass interference. So it looked like to me.
Look, Quinn's made his best throws outside the numbers in this game I've seen in a while from him.
Yeah. Well, that's one DeAndre Moore's had some of the dropsies this year. That's one if he catches that and gets his foot down, that's a field goal opportunity for Texas. Now be careful.
I would think now you run the football, right? You don't want to
negatory, Ghost Rider.
Gunner helm. Screen. There you go.
Okay, we'll screen. Yeah, same thing.
And look at there. Call timeout.
Big boys all getting blocks downfield. That was awesome.
That's the same play he called at Arkansas.
Yeah,
they got him a first down on 3rd and 13.
Watch these linemen on this replay. It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah. He called that at Arkansas on 3rd and 13, and they got 17 yards out of it. That play right there just went for 24 yards.
I got to tell you, and he's trusting Trevor Gooseby to make a backside block by himself. It's a lot of trust in a young player. That tells you how much they think of Trevor Gooseby.
So we got what? We got one
more play. You can take a shot or try to get closer in for Burt.
Yeah, you've got the timeout, so you don't have to throw it.
You got the whole field. Got the whole field to play with here.
That's a hell of a screenplay call, Coach. That was a hell of a call, man.
It really was.
Sark's in his bag right now, and Quinn's in his bag with that air splint on, which is hard to play with. I'm sure Coach has had some guys try to play with that. That's not easy.
Quinn is now 11 of 17, 142 yards and a touchdown, rating of 154. Hard to ask for more. Oh, did he get a penalty?
It should have been.
I agree with you, Coach.
I mean, that guy made contact with him from the line of scrimmage and never let go of him all the way down the field.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not a penalty.
How's that not a hold? That's a hold at minimum. It's a hell of a throw. Again, hell of a throw by Quinn.
Yeah, it's a great throw. He's been on, you know he wanted to play in this game, and he's playing really, really well. They're going for one more play. It's going to be quick then. You got 7 seconds. Can't take a sack, Quinn. There you go. All right. Now your timeout. Well executed, guys. They have 3 penalties for 15 yards. But they've got some, but man, they have really played a clean football game in a hostile environment, taking this crowd out of it. They could go into halftime knowing they're getting the ball out of half with a 20-point lead if Burt makes this kick.
$47-yarder. Was it? Are we right hash?
Right hash, yes, sir.
Oh.
That's not a good look, Coach.
It's not.
With the advanced super tape stream.
With my ESP in.
Oh, man, he hit it straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Wow. The problem was he was on the right hash.
He forgot he was on the right hash.
He forgot he was on the right hash.
Hey, let me mention that our second quarter was brought to you by ATX Trees. My man Bert Cedillo and his team. Alex, his brother. It's a family-owned business. Their dad started it. long time ago. It takes a long time to grow trees. And so they bring trees to your house, to your property, tree size over 30 gallons. These are mature trees or young baby trees too. They do whatever you need, over 18 varieties in stock, native trees as well. Special orders are available. They do xeriscaping as well. And obviously once they deliver and install that tree, it's got a full-time warranty. They're going to take care of it and nurse that tree all the way through. They'll trim it when it needs it. And all the trees in your yard, they're absolutely the best and such a great option for a new piece of property or a business that's looking to, not wait on the trees to grow. They've already got them ready to grow from their tree farm to your home or business. You also save water with the drought-tolerant xeriscaping. That's when the droughts aren't going to slow down here in Central Texas, no doubt. So call them. They have a great 10% offer on all phone orders, 749-5149. That's 749-5149. ATXtrees.com. That's ATXtrees.com. Bringing you our second quarter. All right, guys, what do we think? 17-0. Miss Bert Auburn kicked one of the few mistakes from the half, but 250 total yards, 142 through the air, 112 on the ground, and they held A&M to 141 yards. A lot of that came on that first drive, and then on that drive that didn't result in any points for the 2-minute drill.
Before Coach goes into his breakdown, this is how impressive the half was. A&M had placed 3 Power 4 opponents this year at home: Notre Dame, Missouri, and LSU. They'd averaged giving up 18.7 points and 349 yards in the entire game. Texas has 17 points at 255 yardage in the first half.
Yeah. It's a great half. I mean, especially Jerry, I didn't have the intestinal fortitude to make a prediction that you made early in the season, but I felt it. I mean, I mean, it's just like, but now I just hope the team doesn't do what I'm doing. I'm kind of breathing a little bit. Going, okay. Whew, yeah. Maybe we're going to be okay because, but you can't do that. They've got to just, they know now that the crowd is not going to have effect on this game for them. They haven't up to this point. And the more we play like this, obviously, the more we're going to take the crowd out of the game. But and you've got to be wondering if you're A&M over there going, golly, yeah, well, this is what we were afraid of. Too much talent on that Texas team for the 12th man to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I just really think if we come out in this second half and mount a decent drive, certainly we want points on it. But just not have a short drive. If we get points, that's even better. But just continue. You almost wish they could cut the halftime in half or something. And let us get back out there while we still kind of got the groove going on. Because we don't want to let them back in this game.
Well, and I would say this: the message in the A&M locker room, if I'm Mike Elko, is, guys, we were down 20-7 to LSU at home. And we came back and scored 38 points. And if I'm in the Sark locker room, I'm saying the exact same thing, Jerry.
Yeah.
This team was down 20-7 at half to LSU and came back and forced a bunch of turnovers and won the game by double digits. It's the same message, right? This team's not done. They're going to play in front of their home crowd. They did it back a month ago against LSU. And that was, I watched that whole game. They were down 20-7 and getting dominated and ended up winning the football game. So all gas, no brakes, guys.
Yeah, and look, it's Ryan Matthews, any word on Banks? No word on Banks. He just walked back to the locker room whenever that was. He got hurt under his own power. Trevor Goosby's played tremendous so far. Will Texas have to deal with Connor Weigman, a quarterback change in the second half? And how does that affect them? Not the scramble off schedule runner, but not a non-athletic quarterback, but not a guy carrying a lot of confidence in the passing game either. So will Texas face a different quarterback to start the second half here for A&M? But this game feels like a basketball game to me right now. When a team's up big at half, the team that's down is going to come out with a lot of fight in that first 4 or 5 minutes of this second half. It's going to be as much fight as they've had, not as much fight as this fight we're watching now after Ohio State and Michigan. But A&M, they're going to give Texas their absolute best defensive series coming out and then best offensive series they got. And if Texas can win both of those series, then you're going to look up and you're going to be midway through the third quarter, up 3 scores.
Yeah, I really think if Marcel Reed does in fact come out for the first possession for the Aggies in the third quarter, and he sputters again, I think that would be a pretty wise move. I think at some point you got to go back with, make a change and just see if your other quarterback can get something going, because it's obvious if Reed doesn't get it going on their first drive in the third quarter, I don't know how long you stay with him.
Yeah. Kim asked us earlier. I didn't get that. Ryan Day good is gone. Jim Harbaugh is right about him. Look, Ryan Day's lost 4 in a row to Michigan. That costs a lot of guys their jobs. If he doesn't, I would say this: they're probably in the playoff. They should be. I guess they will be in the playoffs. I'm not sure if they should be after today. They will be in the playoffs. He better not go out round 1. That's all I got to tell him. Then he's going to be in trouble. Because this was supposed to be the team for them this year.
Yeah, that's going to be if they are in the playoffs, which I certainly plan on. I assume they will be. That's a pretty tough first draw for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, say they play. So you don't want them in an 8-9 game, obviously, but say they're a 10 and you're playing a 7. Is Notre Dame going to host Ohio State? Potentially,
be a great matchup.
Yep, it would be. All right, our halftime and coverage of a 17-0 Texas lead, getting the ball out of half, brought to you by One Source Gas of Austin and One Source Gas of Central Texas. Speaking of all gas, no breaks, it's the all gas, no breaks halftime show, brought to you by One Source Gas of Central Texas. If you have compressed gas needs for your home or for your business or a restaurant, venue, hospitality, obviously anything in the medical field with oxygen or any of those type of things, they deliver, and they're the best. They were 13 years locally owned and operated. One Source Gas of Central Texas. Guys, around college football this weekend, it's been crazy. The Georgia game was 8 overtimes. I mean, Texas, it's 30 more minutes of football, but they've been as impressive as any of these teams in a rivalry game of going on the road and handling their business. What else has stood out to you guys about the games we've seen this weekend?
Miami's the defense is atrocious. Jay Lee's asking, is Miami in the playoffs? Hell no, they're not in the playoffs. If I was Mario, I wouldn't want in the playoffs with that defense. He'll get trounced. But I think Miami's out. What makes it very interesting now, because a big thing to me was what was going to happen with Notre Dame. Well, Notre Dame won 49-35. So it sets up Clemson and SMU. Here's where it gets interesting to me, guys. If Clemson beats SMU in the ACC championship game, they get in as the ACC champ, and only one ACC team gets in. Does that get South Carolina in as the last team in that scenario? Because South Carolina just beat Clemson, and they won 6 games in a row.
That's who I would go with.
That's who I'd go with. And I wouldn't want to play South Carolina right now, by the way. Lenore Sellers is like, I don't want to use the word, but there's some similarities in the way that young man leads and plays a game.
I would agree. I mean, he looks like Superman, right? When sometimes on the football field, he's only a redshirt freshman, number 16 for South Carolina, and he may become something like Vince Young a couple of years from now. Right now, he's pretty damn impressive. And they've, and he was hurt early. Remember, he got hurt in the LSU game. They lost that game, and they lost Ole Miss and Georgia when he wasn't 100%. That's an impressive player, and they can get off the edge with maybe as good a pass rush as there is. I mean, if the committee is true to what they're saying, South Carolina's not a huge brand, but they're in the SEC. And if you're watching these games, the eyeball test would tell you that is a team nobody wants to play in the 12-team playoff.
You don't want to play. Maybe Lenore Sellers because he's young, but Coach, he has, and I'm not comparing him to Vince. It's got to play out, but you can't tackle him. He finds a way to get away. And then when he gets in the open field, him and Vince are different. Vince is faster, maybe a little more slippery, but where they're the same is they see the game like a running back when they're in the open field. And you sit there and say, they even set up blocks. I mean, to me, that was like the most underrated thing Vince Young did on the football field was he had patience to let his blocks develop like a running back would in the open field. Sellers is the same way. So those guys on the college level are damn scary is what they are. And this guy's a redshirt freshman. If I'm South Carolina, I'm going to buy every offensive lineman I can to put in front of that guy because you might have a chance to do something with him. And you may not get another one like him.
Yeah, they may be the hottest team in the country right now.
Yeah. So the score is going on. Indiana's up on Purdue 38-0. How bad is Purdue? I feel bad for Hudson Card.
Bad.
That's a rough team. That's a
They're
rough
gonna have
team.
a coaching change. I'll be right.
That is a rough team right now. Coach, what's your we always do this at our One Source Gas of Austin halftime. What's your I mentioned my speech about the LSU game. What's your message to the team right now? Up 17-0. They've kind of weathered whatever early storm was going to be there and the crowd and the hostility. What's the next step?
Well, I think Jerry had a really good point, and that is that you've got to make sure these guys understand that A&M is going to come out and throw everything at you they possibly can. And so what I'm telling the team at halftime is you leave no doubt. Leave no doubt to anybody on the field or anybody of any one of the 109 or 10,000 people they're saying that are there. No doubt who the best team's going to be, who the best team was. No doubt. And so you got to come out and play with great effort and focus and concentration in this third quarter to continue what we built on. We played as good a football as I thought we could play at this point in the first half. I'm just really, really pleased with where we're at. Of course, especially defensively, but as we've talked about, even being able to run the ball, we've got Wisner with 67 yards on track to go over 100 again. And, just come out and do not ever take your foot off the gas. You just cannot afford to have a lapse. You can't afford to have a lapse in for one play, much less, a drive or anything like that. Well, so Coach, just having confidence in yourself, your teammates, and your coaches, obviously they've got a great game plan.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, the one thing that stands out now, this is halftime of game 12 on the On Texas Football Watch Along. And, offensive line play outside of one bad half against Georgia and maybe a whole game against Georgia, they've been really good. They went to Michigan and dominated that Michigan team, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Florida. I mean, good athletes, good players. And this is the number one defense in the country, Coach. I mean, they have allowed here in this first half 141 yards, nothing explosive, 4 yards per play average for A&M right now. They forced a turnover that led to a touchdown. I mean, this is the kind of stuff championship teams hang their hat on, winning the line of scrimmage, not turning the ball over, running the football, smart, efficient offense, and then just playing great defense and making it very difficult on your opponent.
Yeah, no doubt. I think A&M has to do something to change up. If, the old saying, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And so I would look at them making a quarterback change. That really makes a lot of sense to me at this point, especially if they decide not to do it on their first offensive drive. If they don't get any points or look like they have some momentum, then I think you've got to make a change because they got nothing to lose here. Yeah.
Well, and everything to gain, right? You'll put yourself in a chance to rematch Georgia in a championship scenario next week. And, Quinn, I mean, we were all a bit worried about what Quinn was going to look like in this game. He's exceeded my expectations, Jerry Hamilton. He's played better than I thought. I mean, I was worried it was going to look like that, Kentucky second half where he couldn't move at all. He scrambled for 22 yards. He, scrambled in the pocket to throw to Gunnar Helm and big first down on a 3rd and 14 that led to points. I mean, he's played a really good brand of football here in the first half.
After he got kind of comfortable after the first couple of drives, this is the best I've seen Quinn since Michigan. And if Quinn plays at this level, Texas is a tough out. And that's the bottom line. We got another half to go. But Quinn has made the best throws outside the numbers, which is his weak area as a quarterback. He's made the best throws outside the numbers he's made in a long time. I mean, the DeAndre Moore play, the one to Golden, the one to DeAndre Moore, the throw to Jaden Blue in the back corner of the end zone. But if the offensive line continues to give him protection, that means you're giving Steve Sarkisian protection. And if Steve Sarkisian has time for his routes to develop, he has athletes that are tough to deal with.
Yep, and that's what we've seen. I mean, more of that Ryan Wingo stuff. I mean, the downfield throws came later, and as you said, I think astutely, Jerry, the ability to, even if they were getting devoured, those little flat plays, check downs. I mean, that's that's by design to weather the long 15-round fight here. Here's Carlos with a super chat. Go, but throw that back up, Matthew. We'll get to it. The Javion recruit, Sark says he talked about NIL after. Is he focused on that before everything else is what it is? Let him go to the Aggies. We'll pick that up, Jerry.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, he's trending heavily to A&M, Javion Hilson out of Cocoa. I think, I think A&M is being ultra aggressive. Now, I don't think Javion Hilson's recruitment is just about that. I know him. I've been by 3 times, but I think the A&M has gone to a level here that is a little different for a kid. And so we'll see what becomes of it. But as of yesterday, I felt like A&M was a big lead in the Hilson recruitment.
Okay. Well, there you go. Appreciate the super chat, by the way.
Look, dead period, by the way, in recruiting. Dead period is tomorrow night, 11:59 p.m. Signing day's coming up Wednesday, December 4th. Most kids will announce their decisions on the 4th. A couple may trickle in the 5th or 6th, but and I'm not even talking about Texas, but nationally. But huge decisions coming up here on the 4th as Texas tries to close out this class and protect some guys they have committed. Myron Charles right now is at the FSU game, and Florida's trying to get him to go to Gainesville tomorrow after the FSU game. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep. Longhorns up 17-0 here. They get the ball coming out of half, and boy, that could really be a dagger drive if they can put something together here. Guys, any thoughts on Ohio State losing this game today? I mean, I think anybody that saw Will Howard play at K-State when he signed up to play for Ryan Day, I remember saying, "Oh man, can that guy lead you to a national championship?" And he did not play good. I mean, I would also question Chip Kelly. I mean, that was a banged up Michigan secondary. Like, Michigan didn't play very good, and they came into their building and beat them 13-10. Will Howard had some costly turnovers. They felt like they could have shredded that Michigan secondary, but they didn't even try to with their weapons. I mean, that was a all-time terrible coached game, and just what a loss for Ohio State. Now I'm watching Penn State roll up Maryland. They're going to be in the Big Ten championship game playing Oregon. I mean, I'm assuming Ohio State will be in, but man, should they is the question.
Should they is the question. I assume they will be too. By the way, I would say some people may argue, I think this was Ryan Day's worst loss at Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree with that.
6-5 Michigan, injured Michigan, bad offense Michigan, and you scored 0 points in the second half at home.
At home.
And you're an offensive guy.
With Chip Kelly running your offense at like $2 million a year with a lot of good players. Yeah, you said hurt Michigan. Will Johnson, their best corner, defensive backs hurt, top 10 pick in the NFL. Their tight end, who's 50% of their targets, didn't play in the game. Yeah. I mean, you let a wounded, bad Michigan team come in and just, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that game. And, I go back, they lost the game against Oregon with some bad coaching decisions, and Will Howard made some mistakes. The Penn State game, Will Howard tried to give it to Penn State, and they just wouldn't take it for dang it. I mean, he gave 14 points. I mean, in the big games, I just haven't seen it from Ohio State looking like a team that can I think they'll be in because there'll be 3 Big Ten teams, maybe 4. But that was a mess today.
I got a question for both of you guys. Is this season indicative, in your opinion, of what we're going to see in years to come with NIL, portal, all that stuff? I mean, it's just – is it going to be really, really hard for a team just to come in and dominate from the start to the finish line?
Yeah, Coach, I've said before, and I could be wrong, I think that because of the portal, the recruiting calendar, just everywhere, NIL, everything where it's at, I think the days of like a dynastic team aren't happening. Like, you can't – even Georgia – now, some of it's self-inflicted because the guys drive 180 miles an hour there, but, they don't have the depth. Georgia doesn't even have the depth they had in 2020, 2021, when Kirby had it really, really rolling there. I just don't think you're going to see those teams anymore because, look, guys are going to, after 2 years, they're going to transfer out. That's what the portal's there, and guys are going to use that in the portal. And then, if you bring in a bunch of portal guys, it still takes time to put it all together. I don't know what Rod thinks, but I think the dynastic days are over in college football for a while. Now, maybe going to profit sharing in July is going to help that a little bit, but I still think with the portal, especially the unlimited transfers, I just don't see how you're going to have that type of dynastic run with depth and really guys developing over time in a program and staying in a program, a full 85-man roster, as many as you could get.
Yep. No, I
agree with that. I agree with that, Jerry.
I think ultimately we may have underestimated the power of the transfer portal in players. Players want to play, right? Players need to play. Everybody's dream is to go to the league. Like NIL is great, but the ultimate dream is still the league for every player that's playing out there. And with that in mind, you gotta see the field. You gotta play. So ultimately, I think the transfer portal, the reason it's so powerful is because to Jerry's point, you can't stockpile players no matter how much money you got in NIL resources. You can't stockpile that much talent because if players are not playing, no matter how much money they're getting, they want to go somewhere where they're going to see the field.
You guys, we're getting ready for the second half kick here. Texas to receive. Rod, what were your thoughts on the first half? I mean, besides you jumping for joy in the house over there.
Man, that was amazing. Yeah, I'll say number one, saw Quinn put the cape on several times. I talk about that in big games. I need my quarterback to put the cape on.
This is Michigan Quinn. Let's see how the second half goes. It's Michigan Quinn right now.
And that's what we saw in the Michigan game, right? We saw Quinn put the cape on and make some of those miraculous plays. That's number one for me. Number two is the defense is as good as we thought. I mean, we said I don't know how A&M they got a break tendency somehow to be able to move the football against Texas, and they haven't really done that. They spread it out early with some empty and other things, but that's about it. Now maybe if a Connor Wigman ends up in here or something, maybe that will change tendency. But I think Texas was ready for any problems that A&M could present offensively, and that ended up materializing. I will say the Arch Manning package did surprise me. Did not expect to see the Arch Manning package. I'll give Sark a lot of credit. That's a hell of a tendency breaker right there. Did not expect that.
Great play there. A shallow crosser, Gunnar Helm off the play fake on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 2. Trevor Gooseby, Rod Babers, showing that he has a future tonight, coming in for Kelvin Banks. He has played at a high level.
Yeah, going up against some guys who'll be playing on Sundays too, showing up.
And Gooseby's still in there to start the second half, so we probably will not see Kelvin Banks the rest of this game.
I mean, a hostile environment. There's no need for it at this point. The way you're moving the football in the running game too.
Yeah.
I
think we're going to get the spot there. It'll be a 1st and 10 on the Texas 38 there. The little slow developer there from Trey Wise. They're good, really good patience there. Got 2 yards for the first down. Ryan Wingo, DeAndre Moore out there at wide receiver. Rod, it's again, the offensive line has been really good in pass pro. I'm very interested to see what A&M does from a numbers perspective, how many guys they bring here early on this drive. I think they got to bring the juice.
Yeah, they've had some creative pressure packages early on, but man, Quinn stood strong in the pocket on some of those and made some good throws.
We have a flag here. Is it going to be defensive holding? It looks like it will be. But Quinn was throwing that ball to a spot. By the way, Rod, you're a former corner, but even you have to hate Will Lee a little bit, don't you?
No, man, it's a tough position to play. I got a lot of respect for anybody who plays the DB position, no matter what side of what side of the ball you're on in terms of the rivalry or whatever. But I respect the guys who play the position.
That's 15 yards, so takes the ball into A&M territory. First, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 47.
Oh, yeah, I see it. It's him yeah.
Oh, man.
Tip ball at the line of scrimmage. That would have been a big gainer there. Gunnar Helm had room to run. A&M is lucky. Well, good play to bat that ball, but look at this from the end zone angle, guys. This was a 30-yard gain, maybe.
Wow, big play right there. Knocked it down.
All he would have needed was one block along the sideline. He'd have gone for 30. Albert Regis from LaPorte with the hand on the football. Oh, Trey Wisner, what a tremendous run. That was a slippery, making the man miss at the line of scrimmage in the hole, getting 7 yards to get it to 3rd and 3.
Yeah, they've come out with a purpose here, guys. I mean, they've moved the ball to 250 total yards in the first half, but really come out looking to make a statement here to start the second. That missed field goal at the end of the first half looms, but you want to make up for that right here.
Ah,
Yeah, I think what they've done in the run game is impressive.
golly.
On the road, the run game has traveled for them.
Yeah, that was not a great decision by Quinn. He hasn't made many mistakes here in this first half. That was one that
Start going to go for this on his own 40 or on A&M 40 instead of putting. I think you got to push them back, man. You got to try to pooch punt it inside the 10.
well, for the Longhorns, those when they want to boom it, it's a pooch punt. So they should be good at this part. This should be a strength right here.
Yes.
Because his first punt was 37 yards. That would work right
Probably
well
be
here.
the best punt of his career.
And he kicked it into the end zone. God dang.
It's one of the few things that ain't working for Texas.
Yeah, that's like the only – and, he's a freshman punter. He'll get better. But when you needed a boomer earlier off your inside your 10, he got 37. And that one you needed 37. And you got –
And look, man,
bounce,
that's a bad punt. That's a bad punt. You could have pooch kicked it to the 10 and made them work, but now they got the ball in the 20. So that's exactly what the A&M offense needed. I'm interested to see if we see Marcel Reed or Connor Weigman coming out.
Yeah, exactly because of the way he went down awkwardly early.
What I heard. Well, I just when I took my little 2-minute break to run to the little boys' room and to the to get a refill here. I heard Holly Rose say she talked to Mike Elko about Marcel Reed and said he's good to go. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think they probably want to go to Weigman in this game unless they absolutely have to, Rod. I'm not sure he'd come in with a lot of confidence in this game.
Yeah, I don't know what – I mean, like I said, I don't know what he provides, but also other than it's not much that they've done other than spread Texas out and then use Marcel Reed as a +1 that has been effective. And Texas pretty much shut that down with Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons at the spy. So I really don't know what they can do at this point.
This is a huge drive for A&M offensively, not to be Captain Obvious, but what I mean a huge drive, even if they just get 3 or 4 first downs, they need some positive. They need something to draw upon with this series, something they see from the Texas defense they talked about at halftime, something they can attack, even if it doesn't end in points. A&M needs a drive here. Or look, if they have to punt it away, if Texas got a 3 and out here, then A&M's just really going to be left wondering. I mean, coming out of the half, they should have a good plan for this drive against Texas.
They had a good plan early on. Their first drive, which was their scripted play. Right? Yeah. They had some good plays. They went down the field on Texas. They got stuffed on the fourth down, but mostly it was because Texas also had to worry about them spreading out things and Marcel Reed pretty much as a runner in the backfield too. That I think they got to kind of go if they want to move the football against Texas, that would be their best bet. But their traditional running game is not working against Texas, and I don't know if it will.
That's true. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think you're right, Rod. I mean, they pitched a shutout in the first half, and 140 total yards. But as you guys just said, a lot of them came on that first drive, and then that 2-minute drive that ended up not moving the ball. I mean, they're getting any points. They did go 30, 40 yards down the field before they got stopped on fourth down. But we'll see. To Jerry's point, we'll see what the adjustments are. But I'm going to go ahead and jot that Albert Regis knockdown, because that was, as you said, that was a 40-yard play if he catches that ball. Yeah, and we'll see if they can get some momentum here. That play huge, because after that was knocked down, you knew it was a big play. But then they go next 2 plays and they got a punt and don't get a great punt. That was a huge play by Albert Regis to knock that ball down, because that was going to be a chunk play and probably set Texas up for a touchdown or for at least a field goal.
By the way, no update on Kelvin Banks other than I guess we don't expect him to return. Trevor Gooseby playing well in his replacement. Look, at this point, it's 17-0. There's 12:45, a lot of time left, but I look at it this way. If Texas can find a way to score 10 more points in this game, A&M has to come up with 4 touchdowns. I mean, sometimes it just comes down, you just got to start adding up the points. Can Texas get 10 more points in the second half? If they do, A&M's got to come up with 4 touchdowns to win this game. Can they do it against the Texas defense? Nobody has this year.
Exactly.
Well put.
Got to scratch 10 points in the second half. That's the best running space Reed's had, and he's off to the races.
Well, that was an adjustment they made right there, guys, because that was the first time he ran left, and Anthony Hill was spying him and got caught looking to the right.
Yep. He's been favoring us right all night.
Yep.
No, I mean that's their best offense when they just spread Texas out, get every receiver they can get possibly on the route, and get everybody occupied and just turn it into a Marcel Reed and pretty much a hero ball. Play hero ball.
Well, there's a decent run, and this is the opportunity now for the Aggies to get some momentum, but Texas is right there. Yeah, Anthony Hill made up for it that time. That's the thing, Rod. You have to appreciate. I know you do this defense. I mean, they'll give up a player here or there, but man, to march down the field is just so difficult to do.
And if I'm not mistaken, so how long was that run Marcel Reed just had?
A 23.
So that was the second 20+ yard run they've given up all year.
Yep, 24 yards.
That's the second one, guys. The second 20+ yard run they've allowed all year. They haven't allowed one. I think was it UTSA game? It might be.
Yeah. Well, and that was the missed assignment too. Well, that was Benda got out of his gap.
So that was a direct snap to Bussy there.
Look at that! Oh, he dropped it. Gosh dang!
Oh my gosh, Barron, you will never get an easier one than that.
Don't make any Rod B jokes. I don't want to hear them.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Barron Babers, catch the ball.
It just
that's been a great highlight for your NFL draft reel too.
Because he could have been, he'd still be running. All right, 3rd and 9 here, guys.
Oh.
All right, they're punting, right?
Good pressure. Look, I mean, Texans had really good pressure. A&M, Rod, we talked about A&M is not good in pass pro. They're good in run blocking downhill, power run game. They're not good in pass pro. And Texas has done a great job getting pressure with 4 or 5. And that 5 was a delayed.
Yep.
That was more of a spy look with a 4-man pressure.
Yeah, they're going to keep 2 deep safeties on 3rd and longs. Once you turn Marcel Reed into a pocket passer, I mean, that's what you want to do at Texas. You got a significant advantage at that point. The number 1 pass defense in the country against Marcel Reed, a great athlete, but he's an underdeveloped passer at this point in his development.
All right, fair catch. So ball in the 15, that's good. So Texas 271 yards, A&M 171, Texas 121 on the ground. Now that does include 39 QB rush yards, but Trey Wisner 12 carries, 76 yards. Jaden Blue 4 carries, 3 yards. So the Texas back 16 for 79. Nyblack in the game here. If you look, you see Nyblack, Wingo. See if they hit something on with Nyblack here, because Sark's seeing Gunnar Helm run wide open, and what happens if he gets Nyblack on a shallow cross and he's got room to run? He'll look like a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's played quite a bit in this game, actually.
Trips high here. Oh, look at the move.
Who? Bobby Petronic worked hard for 4 yards. He ran 30 for 4.
It looked so good, though.
It
was really impressive. It looked really
Look at the cutback for Trey Wisner. He's going to have some open field here, guys. He's so good at those cutbacks, man.
Oh, and I love it because he put Willie on his ass.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Is that the trash talker?
Yeah.
He's not very good.
Yeah.
Ooh, got that.
He has an NFL All-Pro mouth and a Big 12 skill set.
That's good.
Oh, Quinn, get it
out.
Oh.
He hit Nyblack on the crossing route. He's got to catch that ball.
You're right, Jerry. Trying to get it to him.
Well, he'd hit him in the hands.
Yeah, you got to catch it. Nyblack.
Nope.
No.
Yep.
All All right, 2nd and 10 here. Get that Trey Wisner going. Trey Wisner, by the way, guys, is now up to 95 rushing yards, 6.8 yards a carry.
As a little quick pitch to the boundary. Good job by A&M there. So it's going to be a 3rd and 8 from the 38. I think Sark ran that play looking for something later, guys. Oh, well, the timing was thrown off. But
Yeah,
I
Quinn-
think Sark ran that seeing what A&M was lining up in defensively for something later.
brought a middle blitz that time. Look at Quinn getting out there on that air cast. Air splint, as you called it. There it is. He's going to get the first down.
Good play. I mean, Quinn looks really mobile. I mean,
Well, you know, you've all had ankles.
Rod, have you ever played with an air splint on your ankle like that?
I played. Yeah, that was at one point. I did actually play with a splint on my ankle, but it was during the spring. It was during spring ball.
So never in a game day.
Not during the game.
Well,
yeah.
and we've all had ankles. I mean, it's when you're running straight, it's not terrible.
Yeah, change direction is when
You try to cut.
Yeah.
And he just ran straight. Here goes Trey Wisner over 100 yards now, guys, across midfield.
I mean, gashing them, Rod. Gashing A&M right now.
Yeah.
This is the drive you want. And I just if you're Sark, you start to saddle this thing up like Kentucky last week and just Kentucky last week and start running the football.
Trevor Goosby's playing a tremendous football game for his first big action.
Split wide zone. Look at that.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah, right now Trey Wisner's at 7 yards a pop, guys. 16 for 111.
And this is that was also a tendency breaker. I mean, it went more run heavy early on in this game than I thought too. So it's possible, guys, that the running game did actually reach its maturity.
All right. Jaden Blue, hold on to the football. Let's roll now.
Good throw, Quinn.
Oh,
Matthew
boy.
Golden into the high red, and here we go. Longhorns are going to in scoring zone again.
Hey, Rod, Matthew Golden looks really fast on this field tonight. I mean, he looks really fast out here.
And I thought it was Wingo for a second. He's just not as tall.
Dude, he ran away from it.
No, I said on that, even at 4 down, that 4-yard reception.
Uh-oh.
That looked good.
That's Shamar Stewart
Oh.
with a right knee.
Where they've been this offense tonight, there's 17 on the board, but 350 yards. They've been like Michigan sharp here in this game, guys.
This is Michigan Quinn tonight. I mean, look, Nightblack should have caught that ball, should have helped him out. But this is the best I've seen Quinn look since the Michigan game.
I agree. Yep. Yeah, I can say he's
throws outside the numbers, right, Rod? When he hits those, Sark is double dangerous because then he's got the whole field to work with.
Yeah. And, the deep ball early on, I mean, it may have looked inconsistent, but got one to Matthew Golden, which is also something that, we don't see Quinn often be able to connect on. In that Michigan game, we saw those deep balls actually connect to, and he could move around. So extend plays, get outside the pocket, still make plays. I'm with you. I mean, and if Quinn can play this at this level, and Texas can beat anybody in the country.
And the key there is how many teams can get enough pressure on Quinn? Texas has done well so far against the A&M pass rush, and when they have got a little rush, Quinn's had enough mobility to keep a play alive. But Texas offensive line's played at a really high level, and if you get the offensive line playing at a high level, Quinn is going to dot you if he has time, and Sark's going to dial it up.
Well, I think
pretty simple formula.
I agree. I think also the key is the maturity of the running game. I mean, the running game now, this is the best the running game has looked maybe all season long.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that was the highlight of the Kentucky game, obviously, to do what they did. And I think Sark challenged them. They've been working on it, obviously. This is sharp. I mean, I thought Quinn was really sharp last week in the first half of the Kentucky game.
Yep.
Making those real clean throws. And, he's picked that up even with the air splint on. And now, he's already added, what has he got? 30 yards rushing. Quinn 3 for 30. He's outrushed Arch SPD.
He's outrushed Amari Daniels, by the way.
Yeah, man, you got 50 yards. You got 50 yards rushing out of your running back, or out of your quarterbacks.
But somebody's asking about Kelvin Banks again. We just all we know is he's out for the game. It was an ankle. He walked back on his own to the Texas locker room. Trevor Goosby's played tremendous. He
really has. Because you know his name we've not talked about much is Nick Skirton.
Correct.
And that's either Banks and then now Goosby. He's had zero impact on this game.
It looks like somebody from the stands is saying Arch is going to be in after coming out of this timeout.
Well, first and 10.
Hey, Rod, it's about time for Sark to throw one with Arch, if you ask me.
Man, that'd be wild. So it's not an injury thing. It's like just a change of pace, like a Arch package thing.
We talked about this, Rod. I think this is just this should be for the rest of the year. When you get to this part of the thing, you this part of the field, I mean, you got this guy. I mean, why wouldn't you implement that into your offense and make defenses defend it? And I think of the touchdown run, at one point they had he and the two backs in there.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Oh, there's Trevor Goosby right on cue. Little false start. I wonder if they keep him in. Oh, there's Kelvin Banks in street clothes.
But here's your good news, not on crutches.
That's true. Well, he kind of got leg whipped right on the top of his foot there. And it didn't look like it turned his ankle at all.
No.
Might just be a deep bruise or something on his ankle or foot.
Nice.
He seems to be walking okay.
He walked off on his own, so I agree.
Well, there's Arch. Ran into Jaden. That was not ideal. Got a walking boot, they say. Okay, thank you, Toby. Appreciate that. All right, that makes sense. Because anytime you have an injury like that, you want to mobilize it as much as you can.
DMS 1983. This is the first game Banks has had to leave and didn't come back in. Over his career, he's got nicked a couple of times and missed a series or a few plays. I believe this is the first game he's had to stay out of after being knocked out of the game.
All right, 8-yard loss, and Quinn will be back in the game now on 2nd and 18. Good play call. Wingo, look out. Hold the ball. Target to motion, Rod.
Good play. Good play call.
Good block on the edge. Cam Williams making money tonight, guys. Like he already was, but
yeah, the important part of this drive is going to take up 5-6 minutes off the clock. This is what you want. Get points. Keeps extending the lead.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
Flag is down.
Wow.
And it's your guy, too.
Please be something. What is it? Oh, no.
Unbelievable, Quinn. Unbelievable. The one thing you can't do at that point in the game is throw a damn pick six, man. You're a third-year starting quarterback. Pathetic. Pitiful.
Yeah, I don't know how that
Dude, you've started 30 freaking games in college. Can't do that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a kind of a give-up throw, too, guys. Remember, you didn't even step into it. Didn't have a chance.
Yeah, it's almost like he was trying to throw it away. Like, I don't know what that was.
Horrible throw. Absolutely horrible.
Yep, just gave the Aggies life.
Absolutely gave him life.
What was about to be a 20-point lead is now 10.
I mean, this guy started 25 games. You throw it out of bounds and kick a field goal. He's acting like that's a 7th grade throw in your first high school game or junior high game. That was terrible. Awful. As bad of interceptions he's ever thrown in his college career right there.
I
And
agree
it
with
shouldn't
that.
happen this many games into his career. Pathetic.
Well, they brought the A-gap blitz, and that's where the holding call was, and that's a mistake you can't make. You said it all, Jerry. I can't say any better.
I'm done holding. I'm done holding back. That was dumb. That was pitiful. That was a horrible pass. He looked like a guy that they just say, "Hey, go out there and throw a football." He started 30 games.
Yeah, that was
You can't draft that guy.
nope. No, that was careless is the adjective I would use. Well, ridiculous is one, but careless and too great an opportunity. I mean, you're about to kick a field goal to go up 20, and now it's a 10-point game and the crowd's back in it.
So the ball got tipped. Okay, sure. Where was the ball going? He had nowhere to go with the ball.
No, that was a give up play.
That was a give up play.
I mean, you can take a sack there and you'd be fine. You absolutely can. You can still kick a field goal. All right, let me tell you about our third quarter sponsor, Texas Countertops. I know that's I'm sure my man Chris Nixon and his team over there, it's not their favorite time to get a read because that was not good. But if you go with Texas Countertops, full-service countertop provider with a personal touch, Chris Nixon and his team. Chris is a lifelong Central Texan, and he wants to help you if you've got a project for your kitchen or for a restaurant you're opening or for a house you're building, whatever it might be. As his client, you can expect a level of care and service because their dedicated team of highly experienced craftspeople are dedicated to providing the precision and expertise on all projects. And your project will be just like the entire focus of what they do. Long history in the countertop industry. They apply knowledge to each unique project, focused on giving our neighbors throughout Austin, Texas, throughout Central Texas, the best and most streamlined countertop service. Been a proud part of the Austin community for a long, long time now, 20 years. It's a great, great thing. If you're doing new countertops, you will never be without a countertop. If you're changing out, doing a flip at your house and going to the remodel, they'll rip out the countertop that you have currently in the morning, and by the afternoon into the evening, you'll have the new countertop mounted and ready to go. You won't miss a dinner time. That's a promise from them. They're absolutely the best, and they've been doing this a long, long time. They do the granite, the quartz, soapstone, quartzite, concrete, diligently match patterns and veins across seams to make them as invisible as possible, and just do an amazing job. Quick turnaround. They really are the best, and you can see them right there on the screen. No one's going to do it better. Best countertops in Austin. Just go to the website. You see all the work that they've done, get the reviews and all the ratings and 5-star, whatnot. CountertopTexas.com. Don't put an S there. CountertopTexas.com or call Chris 836-5900. That's 836-5900. Boy, this game just turned on a dime, guys. This game was in full control of Texas, and now still is a 10-point lead. But Longhorns now are, this crowd's going to be crazy when they get the ball coming off a kickoff here. And Mike Elko's team has been resuscitated back into this game by a really, really bad decision by the Texas quarterback.
It was a bad decision, but I don't think it's a pick if it's not deflected. I don't know if it's a pick if it's not deflected, though. It's a bad decision. I agree with you because he wasn't necessarily open. But I don't know if it's a pick unless it's deflected.
It's a fair point. It looked like a worse pass because of the tip.
Yeah.
Well, that's two huge tip ball plays by A&M's defense here. Give them a touchdown and also prevented the Gunner Helm explosive. So it's keeping them in this game. We'll see what Quinn does coming out here. You can make amends for it. Go right down and score a touchdown.
Look, Quinn, how do you respond? I agree with Rod. It was a tip ball, but it was awful pass. That was not going anywhere.
No, it wasn't.
That was a dangerous pass to begin with.
Agreed.
And there's that crowd that's back into this game now, knowing that they're sensing an opportunity here. One more stop, they get the ball back. There'll be momentum on their side. But you just said it, Rod. Run the ball. Saddle up that run.
It's when you've had a disastrous play, they had one. That anytime they get one versus Arkansas, run the ball.
Yeah.
Any bad play, just run the football, and I think that's what you're going to see here. Sark versus Kentucky, run the ball.
Yeah. Well, and I think those are the kind of things that battle test a team in these road environments where you can know you can weather these. But there's a good stop now. It's going to be a big third down here, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to give it back after 3 and out because this is the most life the A&M offense has had without moving a ball. They actually have life.
Yeah,
they have the crowd back in it.
Yeah, this quarter's been frustrating in that the Gunnar Helm tip was going to be an explosive that it turned out to be a punt. There's Trey Wisner with another run, and there's a first down on 3 runs, Rod. You called it.
Well, I just think that's how Sark is he settles down the offense. It's like and the offensive line responds with it too. They put the burden on them. They played that well.
I like how he's kind of turned it. Now they're coming back to the right side of the line where you can see A&M kind of overplaying the left side because they're getting gouged over there. They've come back and run 3 straight runs to the right side.
No, this is the best the O-line's looked run, getting you a push in the running game all year long. I mean, they're able to impose their will in the running game and run it when they want to. And when they need it.
Blue's got a little left hand, elbow, maybe got a little stinger on that play.
Yeah.
There's Jared Gibson right there squirting through.
We set up a 3rd and 2 from the 45.
Well, keep at it. They're not very few negative runs here. Texas is getting a push. Wisner coming in. So you want to see in this game. Jared Gibson's first carry of the game, by the way.
Yeah. What Sark is, he'll go for it. Sark is.
Well, that would be crazy, but get him 12 man. Get a 12 man on the field. I think they did. Oh, and it's a sack and a fumble.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But that's going to be 12 men on the field, though. Texas will get a first down.
First time Cam Williams got beat today. And he slammed his fist on the ground. He knew it.
Well, did you see there was an A&M guy trying to run off the field, and they snapped the ball. I think Quinn was trying to get a big one, knowing he had a free play.
Veteran move.
Yeah.
It's a veteran move.
He took a lick for it, but he was trying to create a big play right there. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, you got him. So technically, Cam did get beat. Technically.
He did. That's right. It doesn't go in the scorebook.
Right.
Gunnar Helm, when they need a big thing, it's the run game and Gunnar Helm, Rod.
He's been so clutch.
I mean, give him the Mackey. That would
Good
be such
job
a
by
great
Quinn.
story.
But that's a good job by Quinn getting it out of his hand with the blitz coming off the corner.
Yeah, they're going to heat him up the rest of this game. They have to.
Yep. You got to force him.
Wisner. Gosh, it just feels like This feels like Texas is a bit like one miss. They're about to break a big play. I guess is what I'm saying. It feels like there's a big one coming here.
Yeah. You got to come back and get points after that pick 6.
And preferably a touchdown because it would eliminate the touchdown you just gave them and not, keep it get back to a 3-score game. Good throw, Quinn.
Good throw, Quinn. Quinn is the one mistake, but that was a good throw there. And the offensive line's giving him time.
All right, now 20 is hurt. 20 is down for A&M. Target to motion, Ron.
Yeah, Sark is in his back.
Well, they go down and score here, touchdown. That would be a huge response. That would tell you a lot about this team. I felt like we've seen that in the Arkansas game.
Yep.
When they responded last week when things were spiraling, they were able to run it right down Kentucky's throat. This would be big because, again, whatever happens in this game beyond, I mean, there's a lot to play for. These are those drives right on the sidelines that you if you don't panic in these moments, you can beat anybody, right?
No, it's all. I mean, this team, they've done a great job because they got the defense that they can rely on. The defense still is consistent, but offensively, we've seen them respond, right, like this in situations where they see adversity, where they face adversity during the game.
Yeah.
And that's I'm with you. That shows you that this team, they have what it takes to win big games and to beat big time opponents. Because they can respond in those situations. And offensively, right now, the offensive line to me is what's really taken the step in the last 3-4 games for Texas. The offensive line right now is playing their best football.
Yeah, without their best lineman.
With the right, still, exactly. That's a great point. Even without their best lineman, they're still playing their best football right now.
If Texas runs the ball a couple times here, they can take this game. They can take this drive into the fourth quarter. By the way,
yeah,
we're down to 1:58 in the third. Excellent cutback.
Gosh, he's such a good runner, man.
Good job blocking down by Gooseby there, the left tackle.
This guy's going to be, if he's not already a fan favorite, this guy's such a tough runner. There's Regis down. He's holding his knee too. But yeah, the O-line, they're saddling this thing up, and Wisner just finds a crease and knifes through it, and he's now at 135 yards rushing on 21 carries. Huge. Talk about legacy games, guys. This guy's building one.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, man. His patience, the vision.
It's kind of Le'Veon Bell-like, the way he just really kind of waits and then hits it when it's time.
It is. It's impressive. I mean, it really is. That to me is his X-Man ability. It's his kind of patience and his vision. He sees it before it materializes.
Yeah, a lot of guys. I mean, the impatient side of that is the guy that just runs right up into it and doesn't give his offensive line a chance to do their job. I mean, the offensive linemen love playing with a guy like this guy.
Yeah, right now over 100 yards in a Texas A&M game. Oh man, come on, man. That's
135.
That's legendary. That's legendary stuff right there. Yeah, that's legendary stuff.
Well, and as Jerry said, we're under 140 in the game. It's 2nd and 4. You get one more first down, you can pretty much bleed this clock and try to score a touchdown to start the fourth quarter. And our third quarter is brought to you by the best countertops in Austin and all of Central Texas. That's Texas Countertops. Found them online, countertoptexas.com. You flip houses, you're remodeling your kitchen, you're building a new house. Gosh, they've done several new restaurants that have come online out throughout Central Texas as well. The bar tops and the counter areas, they do an amazing job. There he goes again. Little hop, skip, and jump. First down, Texas, and inside the 10-yard line. Great response drive, guys. I mean, you can't – this team's got a lot of mettle.
Quinn, no turnover.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they lose games if you turn the ball over.
That's it, guys.
Yeah, because your defense ain't giving up nothing.
Kind of feels like Contravion needs a touchdown in this game. Regis is out of this game now. You should be able to bull these guys right in the end zone.
And Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, they run blitz that time. They knew that was coming.
Yeah.
They're going to have to run one more play here before the quarter. Way the clock lines up. Yeah. Torian York coming through.
Yeah. I mean, they just outnumbered Texas. It's a good defensive call. Might be time for more of a perimeter run here, Rod.
Sark likes to quit passing or one of those reverses.
Gunner Helm. Give me some Gunner Helm. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Did he turn it over again?
Mm-hmm. Fumble. Is he down is the question. E. Kim on our chat thinks he was down.
I think he was down too.
Let's see if he was down.
I think that knee might have been down.
I think that knee might have been down. Let's see.
Nope.
Nope. Ball's out.
Punch out.
Damn. Wow. In the red zone again. Back to that.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. That's oh man. Oh.
That's fumble.
Yeah, the ball's out.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
right before the knee goes down, too. Oh. Right before. It's great defensive play.
Yeah, well, and they made a good play because he was trying to do a little quick pass out to Juan Davis, and they took that away. And so Quinn just took off running, and now you got back-to-back turnovers inside the 10-yard line. One cost you a touchdown,
Wow.
but this one cost you. Oh, almost a pick by Michael Taft.
And the run game was working so well, too.
Yep.
Run game was working so well. You could just run the ball. Run game was working. Yeah. I get it, though.
Well, there's the end of the third quarter, brought to you by Texas Countertops. Appreciate Chris Nixon and his team for the partnership all through the regular season into the postseason now. Best countertops in Austin, 836-5900, 836-5900, countertoptexas.com. Well, this game should be very much more one-sided on the scoreboard than it is, y'all. I mean, we're talking about 413 total yards for Texas to 171. Obviously, A&M still has to be able to mount a drive that turns into a touchdown before this becomes a scary game, but here they go.
Hold on. So we talk about back-to-back games where your third quarters are essentially disastrous.
Yes.
Like that third quarter versus Kentucky, I thought was bad. This one's right up there. This is a hell of a stinker for the third quarter for Texas. Offensively.
The key here is A&M hasn't mounted the drive, but what these two turnovers, what the second turnover has done is if you have one coverage bust or one missed assignment, Rod, that turns into a touchdown, suddenly you're back to a one-score game. That's what it's just opened the door for the possibility. Even if you get a field goal there, I mean, they have to score two touchdowns at that point. You're now one just missed assignment, a DB slips and falls, just the weird thing that can happen in a game, giving up a big play, which they haven't got. They had a 24-yard run away from this being a totally different ball game.
Yep. Totally agree. Your margin for error is minuscule for the defense. And they're great still. I mean, they're elite because they still don't give up anything, but you give them no margin for error at all. And this is not complimentary football.
No.
Well, the drive was. I mean, they moved the ball down the field and took another 5 minutes off the clock, but still, I mean, you can't turn that. I mean, this game should at least be 23-0.
Yep.
At the worst. Instead, it's 17-7 with them having the ball. Here in a fourth quarter, brought to you by Grande Equipment, and that's Quinn played great in the first half. I mean, there's no question about it. But he's played a pretty terrible third quarter here and given A&M life. And now they're going to have to lean on their defense. They've done it all year long. It's the number one defense in the country. And, about 4.2 yards per play so far in this game. But right now, I mean, Sark has talked about it a lot, guys. Their last 25 games are 22-3. The 3 losses, they lost the turnover battle. Right now, they're actually losing the turnover battle. 2-1.
Yeah. And the missed field goal at the end of the half could come into play here in the fourth quarter. We'll see. But obviously, with A&M, if they don't mount a drive here, then their defense doesn't get any rest. I mean, and they get the rest here at the timeout. But, I mean, look, if A&M doesn't mount a drive here, that defense is gassed for A&M. They've had lost 2 D tackles, have been helped off. They've given up 413 yards, 195 on the ground in this game, and time of possession is 27-19 to 17-41. If A&M doesn't mount a drive here, I'm not sure the A&M defense has a lot left in the tank, Rod.
I agree with you, especially the way Texas is pounding the rock, the way they're running the football. I mean, at this point, the big humans are wearing down that Texas A&M front. They did have some run blitzes late to able to force a negative play in the running game, but for the most part, Texas has been getting positive yards, imposing their will in the running game. So I'm with you. I think the way Texas offense is playing right now, for Texas, I think I'd run the football, kind of remove some of the risk the risk element out of the game.
Looks like that's going to be an offsides on Texas.
Yeah, Jalen Gilbo coming too aggressive, too quick. Well, the only positive part of a second red zone turnover is that they've got to go 90 yards, and very few teams, including especially this one, as challenged they are to create explosive plays, are going to have a hard time going 90 yards. But we'll see.
Somebody, Ryan Matthews, Blue did get hurt. I think it was a left side stinger. We haven't heard anything, obviously.
Ball fumbles on the ground. Got on it by A&M.
Look, and if you're on the A&M side, if you're on the Elko side of this, if you just get a field goal, you put a lot of pressure on Texas. If you just get a field goal right now, if you can mount a drive and make a field goal, you suddenly put pressure on the Texas offense, which they haven't had this entire game.
They're going to need an explosive play to do it, though.
They do. They're going to need explosive play.
Yeah. You're not going to march down the field that far and do it in 15 plays against the Texas defense.
No, they're going to need a bust. Colin Simmons, you aren't going to get away from him off the backside. I'll tell you that. That's easy work.
Yep.
Well, and the one thing, Marcel Reed, whatever the ankle is, he doesn't look nearly as explosive as he did early in this game.
Good call. All right, big 3rd and 6, 5.5, 6 coming up here for A&M. What will they call Rod Babers here?
He said you better spread him. You better give him as to run it or throw it.
Yeah.
You got to.
Big play here, guys. 3rd and 5. See what they come up with. They don't really have a target that scares Texas, but we'll see where they go to. Well, they got one. Anthony Smith, that's the running back.
Smart move. Like you said, they don't really have a target that scares them. The best matchup may just be the running back.
Yeah, they went after a freshman linebacker who had good coverage. Anthony Smith had good coverage, good change of direction. He was on him. Just a good throw. It's a good dot.
Yeah, it is.
Anthony Smith had good coverage. It's going to be a hell of a player.
Yep. Texas runs that route with Jaden Blue all the time. It's a good route.
Little angle route.
Yep.
And that's the scary part of this. It's as good as Texas defense is. There's really one drive a game in which they give up a drive. It's pretty funny how that works. But it's once a game they give up a long drive. I hope this is not that one. But it's out to the 50-yard line now.
Yeah.
Or across the 50.
Cross. Yeah, they're 10 yards from field goal range. Well, I guess that's the way it should have been. This game should be, right? It shouldn't have been, but it looks like the way it could be.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Oh, Makuba. Almost had one. That's 2.
Right in his hands.
Yeah.
Too quick.
Good D right there. Wow.
Yeah. Vernon just busting through. Great.
Yeah, that's normally what they do, right? When they give up a little bit, there's a busted, jailbreak and create a negative play, and now A&M's got a problem.
That dude's having a hell of a game.
Yeah. There's Trey Moore. There's Broughton. A couple of the seniors.
This is not where you want to be versus the Texas defense. NASCAR.
Look at them bringing everybody too.
Good job. Good job bringing.
Good D.
Yep. Good job bringing numbers.
Rod, they're so when you know this, they're so smart back there. They know they're bringing the blitz. It's going to come out quick. There's only a couple of routes they can run, and Makuba's and Jade's so good at sitting on those.
Yeah, they brought Jade on that one. When they come in that NASCAR pack, you don't want to be in third and double digits against that Texas defense. That's a Herculean task to try to
watch the fake. Don't rough the kicker. Fair catch the football around the 10. Good punt safe. That's a good start. They could have gone after that.
All right. Well, that's a break for Texas.
Yeah, that's a break. Good. Anybody else's blood pressure high? Mine was on the pick six, but it was deserved.
Well,
the
fumbles excusable in that the fumble's excusable as it was a punch out, but still the pick six is the one, and you have to reserve the right to punt or kick a field goal, right? Any drive for Texas that ends in a kick is going to be a winning drive for the Longhorns. These last two have moved the ball, but have ended in turnovers. And as that message just said, this game should be a blowout. It should be at least 23-0. There's no doubt about that. 2 field goals, and Bert Auburn makes one at the end of the half. We're looking at 26-0 instead at 17-7, and we're still having to, consider the blood pressure medicine. So we'll see if the Longhorns come out and drive, but it's one of those things. One more big mistake, and A&M's right back in this game. They still haven't been able to move the ball, Rod. So you still feel good about it with a 10-point lead, but you got to run the football, keep Trey Wisner doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I think he's going to come out and run the ball, and I think you'll get some screen game mixed in there. Even the first couple of plays, who knows, they may, but not the screens out necessarily to the perimeter. I don't think he's going to give himself a chance to have the ball deflect anymore either. So I think you're getting a very low risk offensive drive for Texas, high reward because of the way the offense is playing. They're going to run the football, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to come out and surprise us and throw it downfield, but I think you're going to get an offense that's going to run the ball and try to best to impose their will, which I think they can do versus the Aggie front. They've been doing it really well all game long.
We'll see where they go from here. You got the Longhorns have the ball at the 20-yard line. The punt went into the end zone. Our fourth quarter brought to you by Grande Equipment. Our buddy Wes Murray and his team. They're our local and independent equipment sales and rentals company. They've been doing this for 20-plus years, but they play in the big leagues. And anyway, if you have a piece of equipment you need, it's kind of 3 areas to Grande. If you have a piece of equipment you'd like to purchase, they can get you that. They'll make sure that happens, whatever it might be. You want to rent a piece of equipment for a project you have out at your property, your lease, your ranch, whatever it might be, or you have a construction project you're looking for, they can supply the rental equipment and do a great job. They also can offload equipment if you're looking to get rid of some old stuff that you've got. They can handle that. It's a better option and a great option other than auctions. They can do 30 and 60 and 90-day consignments as well, and they can also refurbish any old equipment. If you got an old piece of equipment you just love, but it's not running so great, get it into Grande. They can get it all back running like a top and, do the paint job and make it look brand new. I promise you, coming out of there at Grande Equipment, they've been doing this for 20-plus years now. Started in Dripping Springs, outgrew that location. Then they were in Dubuque, Kyle. Now they're down near San Marcos because they just need more space. They're growing like crazy. Great rental fleet and can get you anything you need. If you're looking for it, they've got it at grandeequipment.com. That's grandeequipment.com. They are small and independent and local, but play in the big leagues in a big way for any piece of equipment you need. All right, Longhorns looking to continue to move the ball. A lot of run blitzes coming. There's Trey Wisner cutting through. Anybody have a problem with Trey Wisner getting 35 carries in this game?
No, if he gets 10 more carries, Texas wins, so no.
Yeah, saddle them up, man.
And another A&M defender going down.
They're gassed.
Remember, guys, A&M played, 4 or 5 overtimes last week on the road?
Yeah, they did. And what's weird about that is I think they only played 71 snaps defensively because A&M had the ball a lot in that game. So Defensively, they may have played about a normal game, not counting penalties, obviously, which don't difference in the play number. But it's not like they went out and played 100 snaps on defense in that game. But still, they were on the field a long time.
Yep.
And they had the
history suggests that Sark's going to run the ball, but like I say he could change up his tendency. But when he usually has to, I go back to that Baylor game in 2022 when they had that disaster. They had a bad third quarter because they had a fumble, I believe, in the third quarter. Remember the fumble touchdown early in the fourth quarter. Then Sark runs the ball like 20-something straight plays. Kentucky fumble return for a touchdown. He runs the ball like 18 straight plays on a drive. I think you're going to get a lot of runs. If they can do it successfully, I think you're going to get a heavy dose of the run game.
Yeah, and they got 8 yards on first down, so 2nd and 2, a lot of options here. Mike Elko's kind of unloading the clip here with blitzes and trying to create opportunities. He knows that's his best chance.
Yeah, create negative plays.
But Trevor Gooseby, guys, playing a really good game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right over top of him there. That's a what's he, redshirt freshman? Sophomore?
Redshirt freshman is Trevor Gooseby. When he committed to Texas, or actually before that, he was committed to TCU, but spring of his junior year at the Under Armour camp in Dallas, he was 6'6" and a quarter, 268. He's now 6'8", 320. And that was hands to the face, too, and he almost got rolled up on those hands to the face.
Well, it should be noted there's not a lot of teams in the country that can go to a backup quarterback like Arch Manning and a backup left tackle like that. I mean, that's a lot of depth. Because that guy is handling a very good front.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. Trey Wiseman.
That is. So we already had. That's another Shamar, right? Are both Shamars hurt now?
Yeah, man, they are. This is a banged up bunch here.
The Texas O-line, man. I'm telling you, they're punishing. They really are. They're imposing their will. Fourth quarter, that group starts to lean on you. That's when those big humans they become a problem.
So both Shamars have been down in this game.
Yeah, man, this is frustrating if you're a Texas fan. I mean, the tip ball for Regis prevented a huge play on the first drive of the half. Quinn's tip ball turns into a pick six. The fumble. I mean, this game really shouldn't be close, but because we're over, it's doubled up yardage wise now, 437 to 208.
Sark might be trying something. I don't know. I don't know what he's Yeah.
I would run 30 seconds off the clock.
I hope they just run it. I hope they just run the rock.
And run 30 seconds off too. I mean, it may be a dead giveaway on first down, but I'm running this clock all the way down.
I like that.
You just take the air out of this ball.
Low risk. You're right, Jerry.
There you go. Trey Wiseman running through a couple of arm tackles. He picks up. This is the demoralizing part, Rod, when you're on the defense, when they're going to run it, and he's still picking up 8 yards on first down.
And now you run 30 seconds off this clock again, and you're at 8:30 when you snap this football. And if you get another first down, you can literally run this clock to 6 minutes.
Yeah, they did the same thing versus Kentucky. I mean, we haven't seen the run game look this good all year long. I think the run game is reaching its maturation at this point in the season.
That's a good play by A&M there. They did a good job. So now you're at 3rd and 6. And what do you do if you're Sark?
You throw here. I mean, you still have a passing game.
You still have a passing game.
Yeah, that was the negative. That's the first negative play they had in a while.
They blitzed it, though, right up the A gap. Blew it up.
Yep.
I mean, that's what he's got to do. They're going to blitz you, too, on 3rd down. At least you figure they will.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I think he thought Isaiah was going to do a little out route, and he did not.
Miscommunication. It probably should have been out. Looking at the leverage of the DB, though.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like, right? The DB's inside leverage.
Yeah.
Frustrating second half for Texas. Oh, that's the play that couldn't happen.
Oh, geez.
That is the play that couldn't happen.
Damn. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, man. That's real. Oh. Wow. Big play.
Nightmare of a second half, guys. Nightmare of a second half. A game that should be 3 or 4 scores deep is now a 10-point game, and A&M has the ball at the 13, 19-yard line.
19.
No matter how this goes, they have a good chance to get this back to a 1-score game with 8 minutes to play.
Yep.
There you go. I had one of those in this game. Wow.
7-8 yard gainer down to about the 12.
Yep, Ski Breck, you're right. Should be 27-0. It's 17-7. Yeah, this game is the second half has been Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Tip balls, the quarterback mistakes, now a special teams blunder. You know, how do you blow a game and you're dominating is what Texas is putting on display here. Flag is down.
Looks like it'll be a hold on the left guard, potentially. Why is the ref asking if you're going to take it? Is this his first game?
It's his first game.
That was on
Man, Jeff Banks coming back to College Station where he was before he went to Alabama and giving that up. That's surprising. I mean, that's un-Texas-like with a special teams blunder like that under Jeff Banks.
Good pressure.
Good play call.
Great play call. Great play call.
Ooh. Damn.
Good eyes, Bobby Betronic in the chat. The OL may have been downfield on that.
They didn't call it.
Horns up 31. Pretty funny.
Well, Jerry, you said it way back at the beginning of the second half. They need 10 points in this half to be comfortable. They've got 0.
They got 0.
And A&M is threatening 14 and certainly has 10 in the pocket.
All right. 3.5 yard.
He tried this in the first half. Let's see.
Nope, they're not getting it.
Ooh, tough. All right, Elko, what do you do?
Well, you
He's got a kick.
I'm kicking the field goal. I mean, if he goes for this and doesn't get it, the game's over. Vernon holding his growing.
You haven't been down here. You haven't driven the length of the field all game.
He has
to do it again.
He has to kick the field goal here. He has 3 timeouts in 5 minutes. He has to kick the field goal.
He didn't kick it earlier, Jerry, and he should have. You'd like to have that 3 points at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, well, here's the thing, though. If he goes for this and doesn't get it, the game's over. If he kicks the field goal, he's at least giving his team a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
If he gets stuffed, the game's over.
Good Bill Norton. That was great play by Bill Norton, getting the push, shoving it back right into the ball carrier.
The ball's on the 1.5, 2 yard line. I mean, surely he kicks this.
I mean, it's the smart play here. I don't know what the binder says, but I know Rod's point. But you get to within 1 score with under 5 minutes on the road or at home, you take it.
And again, why would you not kick it and put the pressure on the Texas offense? I mean, Texas has to get two. A&M calls a timeout here, so they have 2 timeouts plus a 2-minute timeout. So Texas has to get 2 first downs to win the football game.
Man, this is a bizarre second half, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the stat page here on our screen. It's just total dominance, and Mike Elko is going to make a call for the ages here.
Well, they're going for it.
I mean, you ain't never gonna get this close again, Dust. Y'all, I see what y'all saying. I'm talking about feel of the game. When's the last time you've been this close?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, I mean,
You're going Marcel Reed with something options, right, with the legs?
Man, it's close as you gonna get, though. You got to go with the feel of the game.
They ain't getting it.
Dumb. That's just dumb. I look, man. You have to take the points. Now the game's over. These coaches nowadays, man. I mean, do any of these alumni sit here and say, we're paying all you freaking guys $8 to $10 million a year? Have y'all lost?
Ethan Burke with the play, guys. That's just off the edge unblocked. I mean, that's
you can argue that, but the play call, the actual play
I agree.
design is not a good play design. That's a terrible play call. Like
agreed.
Both ways. It's like a good play call. Whether you're talking about the decision or not, different discussion on the play call. The play call was a terrible call.
Terrible call. But I mean, look, I'm happy for Texas here, but I've lost my mind on this live stream all year, Aaron. In college football in general, Kirby Smart not kicking a freaking extra point to make it 17-7 is why the game went in overtime. He was chasing points like Georgia Tech was going to score 24 on him for sure. Like, these guys are nuts nowadays. Nuts. I mean, it's like these guys don't look at Nick Saban and understand what made Nick Saban Nick Saban. Nick Saban kicks a field goal right there. It doesn't matter. Like, it's unbelievable what these guys are doing nowadays, chasing points. I mean, man.
Well, that's twice for Mike Elko, and he's 0 for 2, and he'd have 6 extra points if he had taken them. I'm with y'all on that, but I understand Rod's point too. But I'm with Rod too on the play call. I mean, it's just you're going to try to muscle Texas in that part. You got a quarterback who's fleet of foot and can put pressure there. I mean, gosh, the play they ran in overtime, the 4th overtime last week was a smarter play than that. Like the end around that the kid dropped right in his hands, but still, that was a bad play.
If that's
and Ethan Burke, props to Ethan.
I was like, that's the play call you got. You should kick the field goal.
And look, for the chat, defense definitely wins championships. Defense gets you to championships for sure. And look, it's 1st and 10 on the 4. And obviously, Dustin Wells, Bobby needs to have a Riverboat Gambler of the Year award. We are going to do that next year. Riverboat Gambler, that's a great idea, Dustin Wells. I'm going to put your name on it. We're going to have a coaching Riverboat Gambler of the Week every week next year.
Hey,
Yeah, I also think that
it's a gamble, but
let me give you another point on this.
I think also, this is my thing. I think it was a respect thing for the Texas defense. I think he truly believed I'm not getting back down the field again on this Texas defense.
I need a touchdown.
I haven't done it all game long. When the hell am I going to get this close? I got down here by sheer luck of a block punt. I'm not getting down here again on that Texas defense. It's that good.
Yeah.
When have they gotten down there, guys? Like that's they're not getting down there again.
I'd also say this.
I'm not getting down there again. Yeah, the game may be over, but who gives a damn? Because I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to put a drive together to get down there in Texas. So ultimately, to me, it was respect to the Texas D. Like, when
you're right.
y'all acting like y'all assuming they're gonna be able to drive down there again. I love y'all like y'all. I love the cockiness and the arrogance y'all got. You're gonna be able to drive down on Texas when they know you can drive down there with Colin Simmons and a NASCAR package on you. Yeah, y'all gonna be able to drive with the best pass defense in the country. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Really?
No.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I know what you're saying about the points. I get it, but dude. The first one, yes. The first one you can argue you should have taken the points. At this point in the game, where you need a touchdown and a field goal, dude, you ain't getting down there again.
No.
You ain't getting down there again. Now on this defense.
Yeah, I hear you, and it's a great discussion, but you just took out the element of Manny Muhammad slips. Somebody busts a coverage, and I mean, you don't even giving your team a chance now if Texas gets to first. I mean, it's over. Like I don't understand these guys, man. I really don't.
Well, I'll say this to the play for Ethan Burke. To get a 4-yard loss was huge. Did not have to be on your 1-yard line to come off your 4. And first run got a bunch. You'll see if this will push. But Longhorns have a third down here, guys. Longhorns have a third down here.
Third in maybe not even half a yard.
They need the 2 first downs, though.
I need a margarita. I need a number of margaritas to watch these coaching decisions in college football these days with chasing points and not taking.
But I do agree with Rod's point that it was respect to the Texas defense. I mean, they have pitched a shutout
I understand it. I get it.
And they still showed up. and they still that's how good the Texas defense is. You still can get on twice. 2 goal line stands. 2 goal line stands in the Texas A&M on the road. The D is just that good.
Yeah,
I think he just knew. Jerry, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think he knew I'm not getting back down here again. I ain't gonna get down here again anyway. This is the best chance I got. And you're right. You could have kept hope alive for another 4 minutes, but the truth is they're not getting back down there in their Texas D. They're not gonna do it.
Well, and it's also a conversation we've had throughout the year, guys. And Jerry, for sure. Nobody beats Texas. Texas beats Texas, and that's been certainly the case here this evening. I mean, this is the charity of Texas. I mean, I guess you could talk about a forced fumble and a block punt and the interception return, but Texas has played such a good game to have these mistakes allow this to be this close. Now they need a third down or they're punting. I mean, this is 3rd and 1, and you trust Sark to dial up something good here, but this game's way closer than it should be, but a win is going to win. This is survive in advance time. We'll see what Texas does coming out of the timeout. Our 4th quarter has been brought to you by Grande Equipment and our watch along. Wes and his team, give them a call. I know this won't be for all of y'all out there, but man, if you have property, I know it's deer season and hunting season up at the deer lease. You got a project, you need a big piece of equipment to dig a retaining pond or whatever it might be. They got you, Grande Equipment. No project too large, too small. They just get it done. And they've done huge freeway projects and building projects with the equipment that's supplied. But everything from those type of deals down to the little guy that just needs a couple pieces of equipment. And if you have old equipment you're trying to offload, they can do that too. They do a great job. It's a better option than auctions too, because they'll fix up that equipment, get it ready to go out and get you taken care of there as well. Grande Equipment, they are small, independent, and locally owned, but they play in the big leagues in a big way. GrandeEquipment.com. 20 years here in Central Texas.
I wanted to, hey, G-Man 345, I think Texas is already in the playoffs. This last 3 minutes and 50 seconds, if Texas wins this game, I think they're guaranteed of hosting a first-round game, even if they lose to Georgia next week. I think that's where I think Texas is in no matter what. If they win this game, though, I think that cinches a host first-round game, win or lose the SEC championship game because of the way things have played out. That's my take on it anyways.
I agree with that. I agree. I mean, I guess what you're saying is a win tonight clinches a top 8 seed. A win over Georgia clinches a top 4, but a win tonight gets you a top 8.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Somebody's asking about Myron Charles. I think he's at the FSU game tonight, and we'll see if he shows up in Gainesville tomorrow.
All right, 3rd and 1. Fairly big play here, guys. Trey Wisner right behind Trevor Gooseby.
Good little wildcat. Or not wildcat, direct snap. A&M has 1 timeout plus the 2-minute. And they're not going to call it here, so you can run this down to 3 minutes. And Quentin says A&M fans are leaving. Really? They waited 13 years for this.
You can't leave. Look at Trey Wisner, over 30 carries now.
If y'all understand why I'm so fired up this game, it really has nothing to do with the win or the loss. It does. Because if Texas wins, Bobby Burton and Blake have to eat corn dogs with mayo on Coffee and Football Monday. You know how much is on the line here, guys? You damn right my blood pressure's up.
Hey, Rod, you played defense. What does Trey Wisner do? What is it about his – I know we've talked about it, but his running style right there. Right there, there's 2 guys in the backfield attacking him for a loss. He makes a cut. He slices through. I mean, this guy is some kind of player.
Yeah, he does a great job, man. It's his angles as a running back.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, it's weird that you take, you angle to the football as a defender. That's your lifeblood, right? Getting to the football. And when you talk about football speed, often it's just guys who diagnose angles quicker and they take better, more accurate, exact angles to the football. And he really does a great job of, on the other side, reversing that ability, because he can figure out the defender's angles toward him, and then he makes very subtle movements to avoid them and really destroy your angles. And he doesn't do it with – some guys do it with speed. Some guys do it with change of direction, right? He doesn't do it with that. It's a subtle movement, so it looks very strange because it doesn't do it with an explosive trait, like usually, which is change of direction, quickness, agility, or speed. He does it, in my opinion, with his like patience as a runner, and then the way that he's able to subtly avoid you. And it's almost like body language you got to read. It's like kinesthetics. It's weird. It's really I think impressive.
Yeah,
Ricky Stewart coming in is very similar too.
Who?
Or Ricky Stewart, the running back committed to Chapel Hill, very similar to Trey Wisner. Very similar.
Well, even that time, he's got a corner coming at him, and he just it should have been a loss, and he falls forward. He turned and cut through it and falls for a yard and a half.
He's so savvy. Like, he's just a savvy runner, man.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to punt here.
Took enough time now. You did a good chunk off the clock, like Jerry said. That was your main objective, was milk the clock.
All right, that's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. The Longhorns will hopefully get a punt off here to start this final 2 minutes of the game. It's 461 total yards to 233 for the Longhorns, or for the Aggies, I should say. And, it does feel like the Arkansas game, this game, Kentucky last week, guys, even the Vanderbilt game, Sark has realized, and I give Sark a lot of credit for this, that, he's an offensive guy, and the offense maybe is self-inflicting wounds and isn't where a lot of people expected it to be. But boy, he's leaned into this defense. He's leaned in to survive and advance and, keep a game 2 scores. And, you got to give Sark credit for that he understands how good this defense is, play to that strength. Even tonight, there's a pick 6, there's a block punt, and they get this punt off. I mean, A&M has a very low percentage chance of winning this game with 2 minutes to go. They've got to score twice now. Sark has kind of understood that, and so far, if they can hold on for the next 2 minutes, they're going to be 11-1.
Yep. I mean, I know Longhorn fans are going to be upset. It's going to be a lot of on the post game, a lot of criticism about the way Texas played, and of course, they could have blown A&M out. But I'm with you. I look at the Texas team now. I look at the identity of it as a defensive-oriented team. So a 17-7 win, although for some Longhorn fans, that's disgusting. I look at it as, that's kind of how I expect Texas to win some of these games, because I'm not looking at them to blow teams out, because the offense, for those who are expecting the offense to grow wings at this point and become something else at the 12th game of the season, this is who they are. They are dynamic and explosive, but they also have moments where, they are inefficient, have self-inflicted wounds, and, the offense stalls. But it's okay. It's just not perfect, and they're not what we expected them to be. But it's still good. This model, this recipe, this formula is still good enough to win a championship. It's just not what y'all expect to be. I always compare it to the ugly duckling, right? It's only ugly to you guys who thought the offense would lead the identity of the team. That's not the case. To me, it's a beautiful swan, because I've accepted now that the defense is the identity of the team. And if you look at it that way, your expectations from the offense need to be a little bit more realistic, considering we're at game 12. They're not going to change at this point. What the beautiful thing about the offense is, I think they have developed a running game. Like, their running game now, I think it has matured. And that is something that's new. That's a new element of the offense that we didn't see early in the season.
100%.
And Rod, to add to that, it's not the offense Sark thought it was going to be. So he's had to adapt.
Yeah, agreed. I think you're right about that.
Ryan Nelson, is South Carolina or Bama in the playoff? If South Carolina, I know Bama beat South Carolina, and I know Ole Miss beat South Carolina. But if South Carolina's not in the playoff over those guys, I give up. They've won 6 games in a row. They just won at Clemson. They have some good wins. But the kicker for me in that conversation, before we get back to this punt, is what if Clemson beats SMU to win the ACC? Are they going to leave South Carolina out at that point?
Yeah, that's a great point, because look at Trey Wisner, by the way. Over 50 carries the last 2 weeks, over, 400 yards of offense, or 350 yards of rushing. What a performance, and he's still on the bike running around.
Legendary. That's legendary stuff in the Texas A&M game, man.
100%.
Wow.
They got the ball at the 42, so no timeouts, but ball in the 42.
NASCAR package time, Rod.
Oh man, that to me is their most lethal package on defense. All their playmakers on the field, all their best playmakers on the field at one time.
This is like Mariano Rivera. This is the closer. You're bringing your closer in.
And he's going to throw the football too. Got nothing but speed on the field.
Just can't give up an explosive, and you're good in these situations usually. Inside 2 minutes, obviously the clock does stop at the first downs.
It's all right. Tackle. Keep him in bounds.
There it is. Oh, Barron Sorrell's had him. Get him from behind. There you go. There's the ball out. Texas is going to win the game.
Told you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lethal, man.
Yeah, that was Trey Moore from behind, and that's a recovery. If it stays in bounds, there is a flag down. Illegal man downfield.
Broughton got the – I want that.
Blows the kiss, Vernon Broughton.
Yeah, and NASCAR package is nasty, man.
Hey, guys, brag on this. If this flag goes against A&M, which I believe it is, and that is ruled in bounds, which I believe it will.
The defense, baby.
This is a shutout. This is a shutout at A&M, guys.
Yep.
Defensive shutout.
The D, man.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty ballsy right there. A shutout on the road defensively. The 7 points came courtesy of the offense. That is some kind of performance right there by the number 1 defense in the country, as is.
Where's Colin Simmons' helmet?
What they call? Oh. Well, there it is. It's going to be Texas ball, and man, that is some kind of performance by Texas tonight.
All right, gentlemen. I'll see you on the post game.
Hook 'em, Rod.
All right, hook 'em.
Trey Moore forced it, recovered by Vernon Broughton, I believe. And what a game for Vernon Broughton there, Jerry.
Yeah, big time game for Vernon. What a way to go out the regular season for Vernon Broughton. Vernon Broughton, a big time game against Texas A&M, where he was once committed, by the way. Where he was once committed. Isaac Darden, I got to eat toe jam. Look, I'm happy to be wrong. My season prediction, I picked Texas 10-2, although I did pick Texas 27-23 this week. But I couldn't change my season prediction, so I'll own it.
Well, it's funny how this game goes, Rod. Jerry, coming into this game, preseason, I was out in Vegas in the summertime, June, and A&M was over/under win total of 8.5. Texas was 10.5.
Yeah.
Tonight's game determined who hit theirs in the regular season.
Yep.
So both teams were kind of on par with what the Sharps thought, and Texas gets the win. They get to 11. A&M's going to be stuck at 8 wins and probably headed to the Music City Bowl. So
Yeah,
if you're
it's
looking,
a big loss for them from a bowl perspective because they either go to the SEC championship game or you go to the Music City Bowl, as you said. That's a
that's a difference. That's a different animal. And 17-7 could have been. Who knows? I mean, what could have been, should have been, but a double-digit win. If you bet on Texas, you're covering because the defense pitched a shutout. The offense did not do their part in the second half. They turned the ball over and had a block punt. But props to Texas, y'all. Thank you to Grande Equipment. Thank you to all of y'all that watched. Also, our friends at ATX Trees, atxtrees.com, Texas Countertops, and, of course, One Source Gas. Jerry, awesome job, man. Fun time. Can't wait for the SEC championship game next week.
See you next week, Aaron. We'll see you next week. We get some extra games this year now. We get SEC championship game and at least a playoff game, and hopefully more than that. We have a lot of watch with us left.
Let's go to Atlanta, brother. See you, man.
All right.